Alright. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Do All the Things, the GDQ Hotfix show where we show off speedruns of 100% runs, as well as runs where we do or collect all of something in the game. Like in this case, we have an all items run today. I've also had like all bosses in the past, like etc. etc. Very cool stuff, honestly. This stuff I love to see. you know. And today I'm very happy to have a show I've wanted to do for a while here. We have Kirby's Dream Land 1 through 3, 100% essentially, with all the world record holders of each category. I got this. We brought them in together. It's awesome. I'm excited about this a lot because like if you know me, I love Kirby. I've spearrun Kirby since 2014. Oh my god, it's been almost like 10 years. What the heck? Just thinking about that right now. But yeah, I'm excited about that to say the least because like Kirby's near and dear to me in terms of speedrunning, and like I'm happy we got a show together showing off like 3 really fast like 100% speedruns like this with all the best runners in general of these games. And it's Dream On 1 through 3, you know, it's like all the numbered games really. I'm excited about that. I hope you're all excited about it too as well. And that being said, I think we should probably get into it. So hello PTO, how you doing today?
Hey, doing pretty well. Gonna try to not screw up Kirby's Dream Land, and yeah.
You got this, I believe.
Whenever I'm ready. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right.
Heck yeah.
Kirby's Dream Land. This is before Kirby has learned the ability to steal powers from his victims. He just floats, inhales, and just tries to save the day, I guess.
I guess so.
Yeah. He in this game, it's mostly just about maneuvering through let's try this. Oh, I definitely didn't get this. Maneuvering through the game as best as I possibly can. Did I? Ooh, Dawson, I'm sorry, we gotta restart.
Okay, that's fine.
We gotta restart. It has to happen because I
believe.
I forgot an item. So this is all items.
Oh no.
This is all items. We need to get them all. So I was like, this RNG doesn't seem right. So this is all items. You gotta pick them all up. Again, Kirby's main thing here is getting rid of his victims and trying to lower lag. This game, for some reason, has the most lag I've ever played in a video game. Which is, I mean, I haven't played like some Super Mario games or something like that, but it's pretty bad.
Have you played Adventure before?
No.
Oh, that one's got a lot of lag too as well.
So it's fun
though. That game's pretty cool.
Moving through greens. Not a lot to say. We're just kind of going through. We're trying to make our way to Wispy. There's one more item to pick up here. Tomato.
So tell us in general what this category is all about.
This category is about frustrating me. No.
Oh no.
It's mostly about picking up healing items. That's pretty much it. Let me see here. And 1-ups. Wispy. There's not a lot to do with Wispy. He just drops apples on you. It seems like every single boss in this game just like drops his weakness on you, and you just need to inhale it. And for the speedruns, like, can you get lucky and have him not blow air at you? And I did not get lucky, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, honestly.
It is what it is. It's a quick level, and the second level is almost equally as quick. It's Castle Lololo. Pick up this microphone. Microphone would destroy everything on the stage, but it is like the laggiest laggiest item ever. Even stops you from moving. Another laggy item, bomb. You'll never see that being shot because again, it's just so laggy. Make our way through the castle here. Take a first damage boost. If anyone ever asks, Fat Kirby falls faster. That's all you need to know when you're in the water. Another item, new to the game. I never see this item. I always forget it exists. It's the only one in the game that makes you invincible. Again, it's another thing that's just like so laggy when you pick it up. Not to mention it's out of the way.
I forgot that Whisper Cam was even in Dreamland 1.
Yeah, there's just one randomly in here. Mini boss, it's just low. Again, just carrying crates out. Kirby just decides to destroy it. He's just minding his own business. Hidden item here. Tomato. I definitely didn't know this existed when I was a kid.
Oh. Yeah, neither did I.
Pick up the curry. In normal mode, you'd actually bring this curry all the way to boss and kill him. Kill him with a quick one-shot. This, unfortunately, there's an item here that slows me down just enough where I can't do it.
Dang.
Can't do it. I think you maybe could get there, but in the end, it's still just slow.
Maybe for tasks or something.
Yeah, Task could maybe do it for sure.
It does seem pretty close, actually.
Come on, give me some luck. Alright, this should work. So you just, again, Kirby's Dream Land, you'll notice it's just a heavily RNG-based game. Oh, I died! I didn't even know I was supposed to die! That's okay. Yeah, it's not the end of the day. I'm gonna get amazing RNG here and just 3 cycling, and I'm just gonna move on with my life. Of course, I got great RNG the second time.
Oh, I guess you are. Nice.
That did not go to plan, but, you know, Kirby continues to dream. And next he moves to Float Island. Float Island, to me, is where the game gets a little bit more difficult. The game gets somehow laggier. I would say the only real difference on this level is there's no mini-boss. You're just... There's a cave. You just kind of...
I guess that's the main boss, if anything.
It really is, because there's like a million items in there. So, if you're not really playing...
the boss of this run.
Yeah. If there's a... Let's try something. I didn't get past it. Oh well. So yeah, there's just items littered in this cave. A couple hidden areas. Let's see here. I don't know what these...
It's funny to see like a room like this, because I see this room all the time in like Superstar Ultra Run.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right at the end. You want a 1-up. 1-ups definitely... Okay, get out of my way. 1-ups, you definitely need 1-ups here. Especially if I keep dying. Jesus. Kirby's Dream Land, not a game I usually die in. Here we are. Tomato at the top here.
Oh, you weren't kidding. There's a lot of items in this room.
Yeah. So I definitely remember getting these as a
personally.
kid, but not any definitely not recently. 2 more items here, another 1-up, hidden in the ship. After this curry. Curry is something, again, you usually don't want to pick up because it's just extra laggy. And this room especially is just already laggy enough. All these little sprites, everything after like 4 sprites starts to lag the game. Something incredible. And like Kirby himself makes sprites just by surviving. So of course we're gonna go up to the clouds here from a whale. That makes sense. It's stream time.
As you do.
And we go to the next boss.
Naturally.
It's Kabula. It's a difficult boss. Cuphead, you know, this is where they got it from, obviously. You just stand in front of him and shoot him. That's it. It is a difficult boss.
Damn.
Especially when you're at full health. Very easy. And we're moving on to Bubbly Clouds. I'm pretty sure Bubbly Clouds is like just as long as all the other stages combined. It's... Again, the game gets a little bit harder over and over again. Hopefully I can make it look easy. I say it looks harder, and then I get into this room where you just hold right. Very difficult part of the stage.
Make it look very easy, though, honestly. I can't do that. I can't hold right.
No one can hold right. Quickly get rid of those guys. Again, I'm kind of just moving through these rooms, just trying to get rid of enemies as quickly as possible. Because the more of them that are on the screen, the worse it gets. Couple hidden items here. That's funny as a kid. Like, I knew about these ones, and I always went to them. Like, I went to this area, but I swear, like, these items are just like healing items, but this room is just designed to get me hurt.
Looks like it, yeah. Oh my god. How mean.
All right.
You just bring Kirby into the boss now? That's super cool.
Yeah, but it doesn't. Unfortunately, like you can't even damage the mini boss here. It's Kracko Jr., so it's just wasted.
Dang.
It's just wasted. Anyway, it's another boss that casually gives me his weakness, which is I think these are Waddle Doos. Correct me if I'm wrong.
They are, yeah.
I'm a Kirby's Dream Land speedrunner. I'm not a Kirby speedrunner.
That's fair.
Get the background glitch for the swag.
Ooh.
The swag. Here's a couple more items that will just get me hurt, because that is the name of the game. Those guys
Gordo.
Yeah, Gordos deal the most damage in the game. Like 3, I think. 3 damage.
Just straight up 3? Oh my god.
They're brutal.
That is not how it is in later Kirby games, I'll tell you that much.
I was saying the game was getting harder, and then I get to these rooms where you just shoot blocks. This is definitely another item
hello.
I didn't know about. You can just jump out of here, and there's a hidden 1-up. Because
I had no idea about that either. What the
heck? I needed that extra life. You know, 7s might not cut it.
It's true.
So you had one more secret area. This place is just littered with secret areas. Another one I definitely didn't know. You could just go into the moon.
Oh, if you ever play Adventure, do that in one of the levels. Trust me.
One sec. I hope I get good RNG here. Okay, thank you. You can just get absolutely the worst RNG here. Okay, good.
Nice.
Alright, so Kracko is probably the reason why most people quit playing this game. Kracko has he's the RNG slot machine of this game where he can decide to give me Waddle Doos, or he can decide to do nothing. And it's really up to him. I've seen people stuck in this room for minutes on minutes on minutes because he just doesn't give them anything that you need. So
that is understandable.
It's not hard. It's not anything about it. You just have to live with it. This is speedrunning at its greatest.
I'll give you a little throwback real fast. Back in like 2014, I used to do speedrunslive.com races of Kirby's Dream Land, and Kracko would always be the one that would destroy me.
Yeah, you just get to Kracko and you're like, man, I was having so much fun before getting into Kracko.
Thank you, Kracko. Very cool.
Alright, Mount DDD, as most Game Boy platformers love to do, we have refights. We go through little mini areas, and we just fight the same bosses again. They're no different. The main difference is we only have 1 health bar, and I don't want to get hit here. I probably should have just got hit. Let's just get hit. Let's just risk it. Yeah, there's no difference, but yeah, you want to be a lot more careful about your health because you need to carry your health all the way through the DDD fight at the end. Get out of here. Get out of here. So I like to do Kabula next because he is usually the boss where he's usually the last boss I take damage from, ideally. Because then I can kind of plan for DDD. Because DDD has a couple tricks that I can pull on him to get through him a little quicker if I have enough health. Hopefully I can show off double hits. Oh man. Oh, okay. Hit me once. I would love to not get hit again. Alright, that's cool. Just hit me again. That's fine. 3 health should be okay for DDD. I mean, I've already died once. What's the problem with dying twice? Am I right?
Yeah, exactly. I assume as well in these like extra like rooms here, it's not any sort of items at all. Oh my god, you did.
Yeah, no items really in here. I guess the Kirby, the Kirby mirrors that you need to pick up, they're kind of items. I actually didn't even really know they were items until very recently. But you have to pick them up anyways to get through the Gordos. Unless you're absolutely gaming, you can do Gordo skips. But I need to pick them up because this is all items.
That's the 8% stuff right there for sure.
Yeah. Pretty new tech. Dark Riolu started doing Gordo skips, and I'm like, alright, I guess we all gotta start doing Gordo skips. So I'm getting
that goes, I guess.
Getting the absolute worst RNG for Krako here, as usual. Alright, buddy. 2 more. Just give it to me.
He's just sweeping and attacking. What is he doing?
Come on, you can do it. 1 more. A quick one. Quick one. No.
Oh, come on.
What? Just...
Oh, no.
Come on. There we go, that's fine. That's
cool,
fine.
cool.
Last, and probably actually least, we got Wispy. Wispy, I always leave Wispy last because it's a nice little... It feels like a little breather before I do DDD. He just drops apples on you. As long as you don't get what I call the Isaac Newton. The apple hits you in the head. As long as that doesn't happen, it's pretty easy. Come on, give me good RG. Okay. No below Wispy.
We take those.
So DDD, he's got 4 attacks, 2 of which are completely the worst. Hammer is the attack that generates a star. Looking for him. He jumps is where I'm really looking. When he jumps, I can have a chance to get 2 hits on him. With a little bit of timing. I like to be on this side. Give me over here. Right now, he's all about the hammer, though. Which, I'm fine with. Another one.
Hammer's pretty safe, honestly.
Oh! Sometimes,
oh, no.
Sometimes DDD can just decide to go quick. Sometimes he decides to do, not quick. I'll jump. Nice. Be kind.
Ooh.
Thank you. Whew. And,
oh, that's time right there, by the way.
Yeah, time. Sorry. The timer, quick.
Very fast fight there, so caught me off guard, too.
That was actually a really good fight. Which is good because the rest of the
really
RNG
nice.
that run was terrible.
Yeah, be like that for sure. Sometimes.
That is Kirby's Dream Land, though. It's a really easy game to get into, but it can be very brutal with its RNG.
For a lot of people in general, this is like a very... If they learn a Kirby run, it's definitely the first one they go for because it's very simple to get into.
Yeah, it can...
But it's also very hard to master at times.
It is very hard to master. You look at normal runs and wonder how people are getting perfect RNG the whole time. I'm not going to get into it because it's a pain. Brings up memories.
Understandable.
But
yeah, have any shoutouts here for the end?
I appreciate you asking me to be on. I always enjoy coming on and showing off Kirby.
Heck yeah. I'm glad in general we got everyone on. We got the whole crew here for Kirby today.
Yeah. I was saying, like, you got the Goon Squad to go play all the Kirby games.
Really did though, honestly, today. It's very cool.
Yeah. It was kind of crazy. Like, you could literally have picked the next 2 runners and they could have done like the whole series. They're actually Kirby masters.
They really are, honestly.
Yeah.
I guess that being said, where can people follow you?
Twitch PTO1. Twitch.tv/PTO1. I hopefully won't be playing Kirby's Dream Land, but yeah, I'm currently always trying to play new speed games and play old speed games, and yeah.
Just go fast.
I usually just try to go fast. You know that.
Awesome. In that case, I think we move on to the next run in a little bit here of Kirby's Dream Land 2 100% by Ryanair. So stick around, everybody. After the break, we'll be back with just that. See y'all in a little bit. All right, everybody. Welcome back to Do All the Things. Welcome back once again. Before we start this next run here, I'll be running off a few announcements. So in general, if you missed out on any of our Hotfix shows, be sure to go check out the VODs at youtube.com/gamesdonequick. And also, you should also go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix to learn more about our shows and check out our schedule in general. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure also to press that like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. And go to twitch.tv/gamesdonequick to watch our shows live, like this one right now. And that being said, I think, Let's get it going. What's up, Reiner? Hello, hello.
Hello.
Tell us all about Dreamland 2 here.
Dreamland 2 is the sequel
I
to
muted
Kirby's
OBS, by the way.
Dreamland.
Or muted Discord, by the way.
Thank you. I forgot I was muted.
There you go. No problem.
This is Kirby's Dreamland 2. It's the second game in the Kirby's Dreamland series. It's the third mainline Kirby game, followed up after Kirby's Adventure. And is the first game in the series to introduce the animal friends, which we will be using throughout the 100% run to help us get all the rainbow shards and finish the game 100%.
Heck yeah.
In the 100% run, we'll be getting all the rainbow shards, which unlocks the best ending to the game, the secret final boss at the end of the game. And on top of that, we need to do all the bonus stages and or the bonus games, mini games, and collecting a rare form of Gooey Girl or form of Gooey called Gooey Girl. And that is all for 100%.
Sounds awesome, honestly. Whenever you're ready, let's get started in that case.
I'm also joined by Professional Hybrid. Want to say hi? You flatter me. You're flattering me. Alrighty, I think we're good to go then with that. Let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, go. So in 1-1 here, it's actually probably the most technical level in the game technically, where you get to do these little slope boosts at the start, and we can get a bit of a speed boost when you inhale and exhale. The enemies here, combining them with the slope properties. Ooh, that Ollie likes to jump. He sometimes doesn't jump.
Yeah, that's... Regularly I should reset, but of course we're gonna just go for it.
Yeah.
And... Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like Reiner said, there is a lot of animal friends and power-ups, so it's pretty rare in this game that you have stages powerless, but there is a bunch of cool tech like these hill jumps that you can use, to shave off seconds at a time. So it actually makes 1-1, like Reiner said. One of the most technical stages, actually.
We picked up fire here, or burning. It is the fastest ability that Kirby without an animal friend has. And also stars do a ton of damage to mid-bosses, so we'll be using
no
that
kidding.
On and off throughout the run. Because this is 100%, I need to remember to grab Parasol here. I very often forget to get Parasol. I play way too much 90%. Parasol also has a little bit of tech. You can jump, and you have a very brief window at the start of the Parasol descent where you go slightly faster. Let's see if I can hit these jumps. These jumps are also really hard. Okay, there we go.
To give a bit of context to the category, so any percent basic game, just complete all the levels and the game ends at DDD. Best ending, you collect a rainbow shard in every world, which unlocks the hidden final boss. And then 100% is like best ending, but as Reiner mentioned, there's additional bonus games, which are very RNG heavy mini games, as well as collecting a rare Gooey called Gooey Girl, which has a 1 in 8 chance to appear anytime you would regularly get Gooey. So 100% is essentially best ending with a lot of additional RNG, which you need to be prepared for, can change your routing on the fly, and as you might see in this run, depending on what RNG you get during certain sections.
We're just coming up on the most RNG-heavy boss fight in the game, Wispy Woods.
Oh yeah, Wispy is
already.
Notoriously bad. Oh boy, it's one of those patterns.
Oh no.
So yeah, you want apples, you don't want roots. So that about sums up this boss, but thankfully Parasol allows you to do some damage even if you get roots.
Usually,
Yeah, well, it's not always possible.
usually a soft reset right there in the other categories, but in 100%, because we need to go into this bonus stage, we don't soft reset. Also, can the string here hybrid?
They can now, yeah.
Okay. So these bonus stages, they like to. This is one of the easier ones in the category, but if you're not paying attention, it can still screw you over. Basically, you need to avoid taking damage, and you need to grab all the stars in this bonus game. If you take damage, you get kicked out, and if you don't grab all the stars, you don't get it perfect, which does not count towards 100%. Yep, there's the perfect. And with that, we can continue on to the second world. This is the only other level in the game that we can do little slip boosts on. Outside of this, I think we'll pretty much always have an animal friend, so we say bye to the slip boosts. And here we also get introduced to the first animal friend we're going to grab in the run, Q, who is also the fastest horizontal moving thing in the game. Basically, whenever you have Q, you gotta slap the A button and go faster the more you slap it.
If you like Who the Owl's theme, you're gonna hear it for a lot of the rest of the run, I think.
Yeah.
Which you should, it's a good theme.
It is a really good theme, so it's like... Hopefully you don't get too tired before the end of it. I know it can be a little repetitive at times. Thankfully, you don't hear as much in this category. We're also going to be grabbing Needle here. We need this to get the Rainbow Shard. And a sec here in a second. We're going to re-enter this level and go right down here to get this Rainbow Shard. Alright, and so I was talking about Gooey Girl earlier, and whenever you have an animal friend and you find an animal bag that will contain that same animal friend, you'll instead get Gooey. And for 100%, you need to grab Gooey Girl specifically, who is just a random thing in the game. So we're gonna look for Gooey. Oh, okay. That was normal Gooey. There's a 1 in 8 chance that Gooey Girl will spawn instead. And for whatever reason, the game thinks that's 1% of the 100% completion. That is the only guaranteed Gooey in the run. There is a strat that we could do, but I think I've decided that I will be not doing it, but there is a strat where you can grind for it in a spot in return for some time. But there's a really cool strat, at least I think so, where you instead just check out every single bag that's left in the game and hope that one of them contains a Gooey Girl. And all the rest of those bags are not do not have a guaranteed chance to have Q in the bag, or whatever animal friend I have. So, ooh, I almost hit the guy. This is another one of those bonus stages. This one sucks. It can screw you over if you're just with RNG, how RNG is. Yeah, and that's World 2. These first few worlds have only 3 levels in them, so they do go by pretty quickly. Oh, okay, I gotta remember here to get rid of Cutter, and because we're gonna be grabbing Stone. I could also get rid of Q here, and it would be a little bit faster, but I don't like that route, so I'm gonna instead just use Q and Stone. It's a little bit safer than just using Kirby Stone. It's just... Yeah. Also, welcome back, Hybrid. I was trying to unstone sooner there, but when you're damaging a block or an enemy, there's a brief period where you cannot input a B input, and I was basically just stuck in stone for a little bit there. And we also get to use stone going all the way down here. Coming up is going to be a mid-boss. Their name is Master Green, and the fastest route uses Kirby Stone. You can use Stone, Q Stone here for a
This boss is especially
little bit of a
brutal
safety
to solo
strat.
Kirby Stone because you
And
need
we
to be
get our
nearly
ones for our
right
next
on
animal
top
friend, which is
of the
Kind,
mid-boss to
the
actually
fish.
do damage. It's the spacing is ridiculous.
Kind.
Kind is
So
amazing.
doing it with Q does make it a little bit.
They are very
easier.
fast
Now we have
underwater, and
Kind,
they'll also
which
be
is
helping
great
us get the up-and-coming Rainbow Shard. Kind Stone's a little bit awkward to use, but we need it for two things. One is to, once again, get the Rainbow Shard. It's a mandatory ability for that. And you also need, or you don't need, I guess, but this Kind Stone also is tied for the highest damage per second in the game. However, it is very, very, very hard to use, and can be very risky at times.
Run out of curiosity. Or are you going to be doing? Oh boy.
I will be.
So you're going to see
Which is,
that masterclass later on.
yeah. Alright, coming up is... we get to go down here into this little tunnel area thing. And jump through here.
How are you supposed to find that? What the heck?
You just
This
have to
game,
know.
for any
I guess
casual
so.
gamer, like I played this game as a kid, and I don't think I found any of the rainbow shards. Like most of them are beyond cryptic. It's actually incredible.
Yeah, outside of the first one, maybe World 2, they are quite hard to get.
No kidding on that one. That one's just like, you just gotta know to press up right there in this one
Oh.
random room.
Wait for World 6.
Oh no.
Yeah, World 6 is a the World 6's Rainbow Shard's one of the longest levels in the game because of how much you have to essentially use all three animal friends. We can cut out one of them, but
Yeah. Also, it was one of those things that I have no idea how you find without having to look it up at some point.
Yeah, according to Moxie and chat, you're supposed to use Kind Spark to light up the room, but it's like, how are you supposed to know that, though? Does the game tell you at all? I don't know.
Coming up is Sweet Stuff, the boss. This boss fight's really hard because we use stone, but it does tons of damage. If I can... Oh, I unstoned a little too early there. That's okay. Oh. Okay, there we go. And goodbye, Kind. We get rid of Kind there just for a little bit, to have a little bit of an easier time with the upcoming bonus stage. This one is one of the easier bonus stages, or bonus games. Oh, except that's not a great pattern. If I run into the Gordo, we get kicked out, so we don't want to get hit at all. And when you get kicked out of these games, you have to soft reset the game to kind of bring it back. So you lose a lot of time if you take damage or miss a star. Which thankfully we have not done so yet.
also a big thing about these bonus games is the patterns tend to change every single time. So it's not like you can grind them out to know exactly, where the Gordos are or which apples will come in, say bonus one. You just need to be ready for whatever the game throws at you, which is part of the reason why it's so difficult.
Yeah. Later on, Mainly mainly this world and the upcoming one. Those ones are... Ooh, I forgot to practice that movement. So that was a little bit incorrect, but it's whatever. Thankfully, kept fire. Which is all that matters. Then surviving. This mid-boss fight sucks. This is blocky. Ooh, he gave us the good pattern, though. I should probably mention that, this game has a lot of RNG. All the bosses and mid-bosses can do a variety of things. Some more ideal, some less ideal. Coming up, we're going to be doing, one of the hardest jumps in the game. Not the hardest jump, but one of the hardest jumps in the game. A little bit of a notorious jump.
Yep,
I think that's what you're talking about too, from what I know.
Yeah. So you're supposed to... This is a wind room, which means I cannot move left.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I hit the wall. Oh, I'm actually going to miss this entirely. I didn't even get the chance. Oh, no.
So thankfully there's a
okay.
backup, but the backup is actually harder than the regular.
Okay. Yeah, thankfully I got it really fast there. That backup can sometimes just take way too long. You're supposed to have... The game wants you to get Ku from another room, and then... Because Ku can fly against the wind, but you can just barely be able to skip that.
Yeah, KDL2 is pretty big at essentially forcing you to use certain abilities or animal friends at sections. Like, you have the ice blocks in this level, but we already have fire, so we just keep going regardless. But the game definitely not even encourages you, essentially forces you in scenarios to use the right animal friend or even animal friend ability combination. And a couple of them we can work around, some of them it's just there's no way around it.
Yeah. Coming up is also going to be another mid-boss. There's lots of mid-bosses in this game. Mr. Frosty. Oh, it's the bad pattern. So we want him to give us a ice block, but he did not give it to us. So we're going to do this way. We grab ice here, and we get Ice Kind, which is one of the more favorite ability combos in the game, because when you press the B button, you get a little ice shield around you, and it's a very fun-to-use ability combo. You can kind of mash through here, and kind of just destroy all the enemies in your path. You unfortunately don't get to see this ability combo that much in the run, as it's very weak for damage.
Which one would you say is your favorite ability combo?
It might be this, honestly. I love this ability combo for this level in particular.
It is pretty cool, honestly.
And then, goodbye. We get now Kind Fire. Which is basically just 4 damage, and we also do need it for the Rainbow Shard. And then an upcoming level. We get a refight with E3 here. Oh, I didn't get the fast cycle. Okay, we're gonna check on this bag. It's Rick. If we got Kind there would have been a 1 in 8 chance that we could get a Gooey Girl.
How many chances do you get, Gooey Girl? At
Oh,
this point?
we counted up before the run started. We think it's 8
Okay.
total. So
Yeah.
we're down to 6 more checks. And then if we don't have Gooey Girl by the end of 7-5, we have to backtrack a little bit to grind for Gooey Girl, which is okay.
I'm not sure if we actually explained how Gooey Girl works, but if you have an animal friend and you get a bag which will give you the same animal friend, you get Gooey, which gives you just a little bit of health, I believe. But anytime that you would encounter Gooey, it's a 1 in 8 chance to get Gooey Girl. So for a bag like this, Kind has roughly a 1 in 3 chance, actually a little bit lower. So you need that, like, 1 in 3 chance approximately, and then on top of that, you need a 1 in 8. So the odds typically aren't good.
That part's a little bit risky. You need to discard your ability and spit out those blocks, but if you wait too long, your ability will pop underwater. I thankfully barely made it. I was a little bit slow on a part.
Nice.
And if you met,
That was another one that I don't know how people find casually, because that is the casual intended way to solve that puzzle as well.
Kind sprites are so good.
It's pretty great. There's an
love
Ice
Kind.
Dragon, you could just, kind of just bully him if he doesn't be mean. Which he wasn't.
Yeah, Ice Dragon, you just don't want them to fly, and then you're usually pretty good.
Alright, everyone say bye to Kine. Kine is
Goodbye.
gone for
No.
now. They will be back.
Kind.
This is one of the worst
Yay.
bonus stages. Oh, almost immediately got destroyed. So basically, we want to, once again, grab all the stars, avoid getting hit. And these little icicles are not being nice. They're
And
this is one of them that sometimes you can just get completely ruined by having stars spawn in like back and forth on each sides of the screens and not be able to catch up to them. But thankfully that did not happen. I didn't get to use it there, but fire there also helped if you need to chase down a star.
yeah,
Coming
what
up is
Reiner's
my
doing
favorite level in the
Hotfix
game.
out the icicles smart.
This is my personal favorite level in the game to play through. It's just Kirby fire, but I think the movement's very satisfying. I'm a little bit low, that's okay.
So 5-1 and 5-2.
This level's very hard as well. Okay, you can cancel fire a little bit early by hitting a slope. So we're gonna use that for that part right there. If I can time my hits, okay, I did it. Usually you hit that wall there, but if you time your hits, your fires just right, you will barely be able to make it over that wall. Alright, in 5-2, there's gonna be a mid-boss also in this level. Which, as soon as we get past over here, I might be a little bit... Okay, I'm fine. Okay. I was a little bit too far to the right there, which is okay. Here's YU. They can sometimes be mean. They weren't mean. There's a strat to make it to where it doesn't matter if they're mean or not. Oh, that's cute. Okay. So, normally you don't check this bag, but because we don't have Gooey Girl, I went ahead and checked it. There's a 1 in 3 chance it would have contained Koo. And because we did get Koo, we get a guaranteed Gooey Girl in the next level. Or not Gooey Girl, a guaranteed Gooey in the next level. Which means we get
Another shot at 1 and 8.
We get the Gooey Girl. Yep. The strat where you don't grind for Gooey Girl is very risky, but I think it has some cool routing, which you usually very rarely see Koo here, so you at least get to see that. Alrighty. And this bag will contain Koo or Gooey. No, it's a normal Gooey.
Well, the RNG still eludes us. 5-3 is also a very basic stage, pretty much. Just gotta be careful with propeller bombs when you have an animal friend, because they will instantly knock them out too, which is very inconvenient.
Yeah, very simple level. At the start of this level, you can choose each one of those 3 doors at the start of it and get whatever animal friend you want. Koo flies very fast, so you usually just want Koo. Also, the level is designed in a way to where all 3 animal friends are like supposed to benefit, but it ends up just being Koo anyways. This Koo is too fast. That was a little bit difficult, but I should be fine.
5-4 is going to introduce the game's worst
We get
boss
another-
too.
Oh yes.
the first of 3
almost forgot.
Captain Stitch fights, which are infamously bad.
Ooh. Let's see if I can get this. Okay, got it. That's a harder trick, but oh, there's Rick.
Nice.
Wild Rick spawning.
Oh no.
And goodbye, Q.
Very cool.
This level
recoil
also has some
strat
pretty cool
underwater.
movement. Yeah, kind of bomb your way up to the, going your way up to the top of these little water sections.
It's just a cool basic piece of movement tech too, because I'm pretty sure it's not in like any other Kirby game, right?
Yeah, I don't think so either.
KDL2 is some
I
very
never really thought about
cool
that
physics.
actually.
Yeah, this game's so underrated. It's so fun.
It is. So there's a hard trick we can do here, but I think instead we'll just grab our buddy here. This is the one appearance of Rick in the run. So enjoy him while he lasts.
Rick.
There is a way to technically avoid using
love
Rick,
Rick.
but it does require, I think, essentially a frame-perfect jump where you die if you don't get it. So I fully understand Reiner not wanting to do that in
it's
a
a-
marathon run.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very difficult. Shouts to one of the Japanese runners of this game, Katobu, who in a relay race went for the jump and got it, which I don't understand how you make that consistent.
It
we
saves a
need-
lot of time, too.
Yeah, I think it's like 5 to 10 seconds. But at the top of this auto scroller, we're gonna have a little room to go into where we can find the next rainbow shard. We need, which is why we need Rick. This is the intended way to get him, but once again, you can skip Rick if you wanted to do a really hard jump. These blocks right here you can only break with electricity, and Rick is the only one who's supposed to reach that one. Oh, I'm not gonna risk that. This is where the really hard jump would be, but missing it also loses multiple minutes. There's an easier strat right here they can do where you grab needle instead. I'm going to be grabbing stone. And I'm doing the next boss fight with kind stone, which is very hard. But I'm gonna try
Say
it.
very high damage per second, but you need to be right on top of the enemy you're hitting in order to find the sweet spot of damaging them and not getting hurt.
Let's just shine bright. This is one of the second most RNG boss fight in the game. Oh no! And you don't want them to walk in. Oh my gosh! I cannot hit him. Once again, it's a very small hitbox. There we go.
So if you're very lucky, they can give
he's
you a
walking.
pattern where they essentially just stand around and do nothing. But that's very, very rare.
Yeah. They did not help out very much. Alright, and also, immediately following up that, we have the hardest bonus stage in the
Hardest
game
bonus
that
in
can
the
also just kind of screw you over if you get the wrong RNG. Which is always fun. So I'm probably going to focus here. This is hard.
Yeah, so just like all the other bonuses, you gotta get every single star while not getting hit, but you can see the patterns of Shine and Bright and the projectiles they drop are very
Oh, no.
random, and it's very difficult to... Because you also need to keep kind to save time.
Unfortunately, that is a very hard one to deal with, where he just drops a star followed by a damaging thing on top of each other, which can't really do much about it.
Quite mean, honestly.
Oh, again! Oh no, I pressed the Wii button. Dang, twice in a row got that pattern. It's all fine. That was a pretty good...
The third try.
Yeah, third try. That was a pretty good run until the old bonus stage.
I'm assuming kind of need later for like a different level after this, right?
Yes, it is easier to not have Kine here, but you do want Kine into going into World 6. It saves a little bit of time, and it was just choked.
Makes sense.
Ooh. The stars will fall through the stage after a few bounces, which means you need to grab them very quickly as well. Alright, there we go. Finally, onto World 6. You want to have Kine going into World 6, just because you need Kine for 6-2, and it is best to just keep him. Okay, this level's pretty hard as well. One of the hardest, best ending / 100% levels in the game.
I think this is my favorite power right here, Kind Spark.
Yeah, Kind Spark's pretty good. You get the little light bulb.
So funny.
It's also very useful. It spits out a ability right in front of you, or a hitbox right in front of you. It's very useful to just clear things through your path. This is the level where you need to do a lot to get the rainbow shard. First thing you need to do is you need to grab ice. With Kine, the game just expects you to enter with Kine. You need to have ice there to break those blocks. If you don't have ice, you cannot make it through. You have to fall down here, go to the left. This is why you need Kines, because Kine can push against the water current. And then we get rid of Kine. Goodbye, Kine. And then usually you want to go over here and get a spark from killing this guy. There we go. And the game also wants you to get Rick, but Rick is able to be skipped with a precise jump. Or, not even precise, you just need to slide and use Spark in this next room coming up. Right here. So we're going to take a little damage boost, and we're going to get rid of those blocks, and Ku's going to spawn. With Ku, you need to go to the right here, push against the current, into this room back here, where we get to fight YU. This is one of the most RNG fights in the game. Ooh. I'm just going to grab this. There we go. That was good. And we gotta grab Cutter. And we need Ku and Cutter to, once again, fly against this current and into... where is it? Right here. Into this door, which contains the Rainbow Shard. No clue how anyone finds that casually.
No kidding on that one.
It's a giant puzzle with no direction on how to solve said puzzle. That level, I didn't mention it at the time, but that level is also probably the most RNG heavy level in the game. Ignoring Wispy probably, or just bosses in general. A lot can happen. Ooh. I didn't need to grab Cutter, but I did anyways. It's a little bit tricky. It's kind of carry Ku through. And get a Cutter there. And grab Burning here, which will just help us clear these blocks. Oop. bit more useful than... Oop, don't go that way. Alright, input there. Ooh, okay, never mind. I was gonna say I needed burning there, but because I got hit, I didn't need it. We get Q and stone here, which helps us fall through these blocks. And I'm gonna try to do this. It would be technically faster to drop Q, but you have to rely on a an animal bag that has a 1 in 3 chance of containing Q to give you one. So we instead just keep Q and don't have to worry about that time loss. In this level, in 80%, you don't have Q, and that level is very notorious for basically having a 2 out of 3 chance to just end your run to lose 30 seconds because you want to get Q out of this bag right here. Also, here's Captain Stitch, the worst boss in the game. Oh no. I'll see if I can. It's actually a pretty good spot for. Okay, whatever. Stitch is very RNG, and you also cannot hit him a lot of the time, and because we still need Gooey Girl. Oh, we got Gooey, but still no Gooey. We're getting a lot of Gooeys, but no Gooey Girls.
No kidding.
Oh. There's a stone guy up there. Alright, and for the rest of the game, until the final bosses, we'll be keeping Q. So unfortunately, Kine and Rick will no longer be seen for the rest of the run.
No. It's right there, you gotta go fast.
Yeah. This bird is just way too fast.
It really is, though, it really is.
This level being started off with a few damage boosts to get through these Gordos. Just like that. I don't like this level that much, it's just a lot of mashing. Oh yeah, you can also very carefully dodge these Sparkies. There we go. Those are very hard to... Another strat you can do is grab Spark and then use Spark to kill all the other Sparkies, but you can just barely have enough time to just kind of go above them. It's really hard, but it's consistent enough once you get it down. Alrighty. A little bit of health right here. Thankfully. There's another Master Green fight. Something I didn't mention is all the mid bosses in the game have a different amount of invincibility frames. And it really affects. There's another Gooey. We couldn't grab that one anyways unless we got rid of Q as well, but anyways, as I was saying, all the mid bosses and mid bosses in this game have a different amounts of iframes, and for the Q cutter ability, it basically encourages timing those to as close to when the invincibility runs out on each boss as possible, and it's really hard to kind of just remember what every boss's amount of iframes is. And usually that Master Green fight really messes me up, but that's fine. Let's see if I can hit this. There we go. You don't want to lose Cutter here. You have to backtrack quite a bit to get Cutter back. Q the Owl cannot regrab Cutter underwater. Coming up is the next boss fight. Kracko has two phases. This one annoying... First phase is a little bit annoying. It's very random on if they want to stay or leave. They're staying for once. I'm not gonna have enough time to finish them off, but finish off right here when they go up. After they peek out 3 times, they will then fly out. And then we get to the second phase. This phase is a bit easier. Kracko has the longest amount of iframes in the game. But thankfully, it's a pretty easy queue to remember. Oh, I got... I shot to the left instead. There we go. Following that, we also have the last bonus stage in the game.
Not that I think
which is World 6.
you can see
World
it.
7 does not have one.
You can see it.
This is one of the easier ones. It can still...
Yeah, I'll
still be
wait
mean,
for
but
them to... I'll wait for them to
usually
tell me.
not. With Coup, you can just kind of float to the top and make it as free as you want it to be. There we go. Oh, that's it. Alrighty, that's the last bonus stage done. Thankfully, didn't get hit and have to reset those times. Or that time. Now we're on to the final world in the game. Dark Castle. Dark Castle has, the gimmick to it is that every single one of the levels end off with a mid-boss fight. And because of that, it has a lot of RNG variants to it as well. And also accompanying Dark Castle is a lot of auto-scrollers. Oh yeah, I don't think I commented on auto-scrollers that much. This game has a few of them, and you still have to pay attention to them, so they're not too pleasant.
Yeah, just in general, a lot of the auto scrolls like towards the end too, unfortunately.
Yeah, it definitely ramps up the farther you get into the game.
Thankfully not super long, it feels like.
There we go. Yeah, they're pretty quick. That was the free boss fight. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention with Q, so with Q Cutter, you want to be as close to an enemy as possible when damaging it, because if all 3 cutter blades hit on the same frame, it'll do basically triple damage. It makes it Q's best ability for damaging opponents. Oop. There's Rick. That was the second to last Gooey Girl. Second to last Gooey Girl and Gooey Bag check in the game. We have one more.
I believe in the final one.
Me too. I got it. I think I got a final bag recently, which is very lucky.
Where do you farm for it otherwise?
5-3 basically. Usually the strat is like, if you don't get it in 2-3, you can grind for it in 4-1 instead, and it's a bit quicker for that. But because we're already not in level 4-1, we just go back to 5-3. It's a little bit easier, and you don't lose Q.
Yeah, the play for standard runs is to just grind for Gooey Girl around 4-1, which is pretty early in the run anyway. So if you have horrible RNG and it's not going to be workable, then you can reset a lot earlier than 5-3 or at the very end of the run.
Yeah. I personally really like the strat where you just kind of have to risk all the bags. But it does does mean you have like less chances of finishing the run on like PB paces. Oh, I didn't go up high enough. So Frosty here is really mean. But, okay, that was bad. Usually you can double star them if they give you the ice block pattern first. And if they don't give the ice block, then they run at you with ice breath coming out in front of them, and they are really hard to deal with.
Many of the worlds that in mid-bosses in general function the exact same as mid-bosses from previous worlds. They just essentially act faster. They
You basically if Frosty gives you the ice breath, you basically cannot react to it, so you have to like float up to make sure he doesn't give the ice breath immediately. But thankfully, I just messed up the double star kill. I'm also gonna be trying to do a double star kill this next mid-boss for YU. There we go. There's a nice double star kill. Stars and double stars once again do tons and tons of damage to bosses and mid-bosses. I'm trying to navigate around this fish. There we go. It was way safer to kill that fish, but I figured I might as well do some fish dodging.
Yeah, you can work those underwater rooms really efficiently if you want to just kind of risk it and just dodge.
That's
without
back in the
having
game?
to shoot your blades.
So unfortunately, we did not get Gooey Girl from any of the bags in the games, or bags that are just normally laid out throughout the routes. So we will have to backtrack after this, which is okay. It is the 100%. It is the risk you take with the running 100%, I guess.
Is it like time to chance Gooey Girl until the RNG gods give us what we want?
Yeah, pretty much. So we're gonna go back to 5-3 here, and we're gonna go to this level, and we're gonna do a little bit of grinding.
So pretty much enter exit until you get it, and yeah, 1 in 8 odds.
Yep. I think we're over odds at this point.
Sounds like it, yeah.
Oh, I always forget that first room exists. Oop, still no Gooey Girl. All my practice.
You'll get on this next one right here, I believe.
Next one. Oh, you're right.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So that's Gooey Girl. She basically just gives you a 1-up instead of 1 HP, which is what Gooey does in this game. Later on, Gooey becomes an actual character in the next upcoming game, in Kirby's Dream Land 3. But in this game,
I don't know what it is.
In this game, Gooey just gives you 1 HP.
I don't know what it is. Whenever it comes to like luck-based things on my show like this, I'm always really good just guessing it, like the chance it happens like immediately. It's so weird.
To answer why Gooey Girl is required for 100%, it adds 1% to the overall file. So if you were to do everything else, you would finish at 99. And one of the things we do after timing ends is just go to the main menu and double check that you've gotten everything.
Yep.
And now we have probably the worst single mid-boss in the game in Stitch Round 3.
Yep. Also, this is another auto-scroller that casually, you just kind of have to trial and error. Or most people probably just trial and error it, because it's basically pick a path. Anyways, Stitch fight coming up. Hopefully it gives us a good pattern.
Hopefully a charge and an immediate one without wasting time. Oh, very nice.
That was nice. Alright, I didn't need to drop my cutter there, but I did. I don't need it anymore anyways in this category.
What's really brutal about that...
Nah, keep going.
I say what's really brutal about that Stitch is compared to a lot of the other boss fights, if Stitch wants to go to all 4 corners and waste 30 seconds, they will.
Yeah.
They will do massive long delays for seemingly no reason at times.
Yeah, Stitch is really terrible in that last section. We're getting the last rainbow shard, which involves going in all these little side rooms. Burning stone, needle. I have it written down on my splits. So, needle. Oop, gotta get a little bit higher than that.
For anyone
Frost.
wondering how you would know the order, in that first dark room, if you were to use light bulb, you actually can see the order on the wall, but obviously we memorize it and go from there. But they technically do give you a clue if you are keen enough to find it.
Yeah.
It's always light bulb, I guess.
There we go. That is the
Light
final...
bulb really is the key to this run for casuals.
Seems like it, yeah, no kidding.
That's the final
It's also-
rainbow drop in the run.
Very convenient. You also end with cutter, because then you can just use it for the boss. That just happens to be good luck on the routing end.
Whoa. I almost puffed that cutter. Alrighty. Onto King Deity, which I'm gonna grab some health because I've been struggling with Deity lately and I'm not sure why.
So for DDD, you want to knock them out before he starts getting angry, and the attacks become far more erratic and tough to deal with. And you also ideally want to finish off DDD close to the middle of the stage or this level, which will make the cutscene afterwards take a lot less time.
Okay. I'll try to
And yeah,
turn around
Reiner's going to
there.
be looking for those double jumps, because you can get 2 stars, so you can drop cutter, get a double attack, and then keep going with cutter. So the more times the DDD jumps, the better.
She's not gonna... Yeah, you want to kill DD as close to the middle of the stage as possible, because he'll slowly walk towards the middle, but I didn't really have a good setup.
So if you're doing any percent, timing ends once you knock out DDD, because if you don't get all the rainbow shards, that's essentially the end of the game, and you get the, quote, bad ending. But for best ending 100%, this is how you unlock the actual secret final boss in Dark Matter. Which is also a very difficult boss, another one of those fights that becomes almost impossible if you let it drag along for too long, especially in the second phase.
He's so cool, though.
Very
very
cool
cool.
design.
Also cool music. So I have a little lineup with... I'm going to line up with the stars. I'm going to try to get a triple hit. You'll shoot these, like, little black orbs at you, and if you time your hits correctly, or if you just read me like a book.
Yeah, you want to time your hits so you do more damage, and then, yeah, you want to do your best to preserve your health for phase 2, where you can do a lot more damage boosting. It becomes very difficult at low health if it drags along.
Yeah.
Nice 4 hits.
Alright, I'm going to try to go for... Basically, I want to hit both of these right back at him. If I'm too close to him, I will instead hit him with the sword, which deals, like, no damage. Thankfully, I got both of them. If you don't hit both of those double hits, the fight gets really, really difficult. But because I got both the double hits, I can just swing my sword at him, and you should be dead there. And
Very
that
good.
is basically the end of the run. Timing ends at the end of the credits scene. For
Nice,
whatever reason.
nice.
I think it was something about the Japanese timing when this category was ran many years ago, but yeah, rather than just finishing on final hit like best ending, you actually wait until it says the end at the end of the credits, so it adds about a little under a minute. That's a good credits.
Yeah,
Classic JRTA timing.
unfortunately, we don't get to see these on the Super Game Boy version, when they're all in color and stuff. I don't know why when they re-released this game onto like the Kirby's Dream Collection or on the Switch, they didn't just use the colors from the Super Game Boy, which look way better and are way nicer than the gray. But yeah,
Is what it is, I guess. This game's really just so cool. There's so much to do in it in general for a Game Boy game, especially. It's so awesome.
yeah, I agree. I think it's one of the best Game Boy games on the system. But I very biasedly think.
I
The
agree,
amount of
honestly. It's super up there.
And time is now.
GG.
Just gonna double check I got 100%. 100%. That is the end of the
Nice.
run.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Have any shout outs to give at the end here?
Shoutouts to Nippo, I forget his numbers, but Nippo, it is his birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday. Fellow Kirby
Happy
speedrunner Nippo.
Nippo. Outside of that,
Working-
I don't have any other shoutouts. Shoutouts to Hybrid.
Working. Shout out to Hybrid. Where can the people follow you, though?
You follow me at Reiner R on Twitch. The Reiner account itself is unable to have access to because of the long lost password to it. So Reiner R it is on Twitch.
Feel like that, I guess. Yeah, nice. In that case, after this, we'll be having the last run of our show today, Kirby's Dream Land 3 100%. We're not done with all the Dreamlands yet. We got one more to go through. Very excited about that one, too, as well. That run actually ends with a arena run. First time in, I think, a Kirby game in general, I want to say. Could be wrong
Yep,
about
I
that,
think so
but
too.
it's really cool. Y'all stick around for that one. That run's awesome. That being
Yes,
said, we'll be back in just a little bit, everybody.
See y'all.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Do All the Things, where we got our final run here of Kirby's Dream Land 3 100% in just 1 second, but I have a few announcements to read first off before we go into it. But first off, if you're enjoying the stream, your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on this channel will help support Games Quick Hotfix for the future. If you enjoy watching Speedruns daily, consider subscribing to the channel. And just here's also like new hype trade emotes recently that came out. I think I'm bringing out some old ones like Pride Pog and all that stuff. Really cool things. So yeah, consider helping out if you enjoy all the content. But also, GQ's next all-women and femme speedrunning event, Frost Fatales, is coming up March 3rd through 10th. The schedule is out now. Use exclamation mark FF in Twitch chat to learn more. Remote volunteer submissions and prize submissions are also now open too, so go to gamesofquit.com/framefatales for more info. And also, I can't say words, it's really hard. Unapologetically Black and Fast will be live on February 16th through 19th. Come celebrate by watching a 4-day event full of speedruns and black joy. Use exclamation mark UBAF in Twitch chat for more info. And I think it's it for my announcements here. Let's get into the run. What's up, Dark Real? How are you doing today?
Shasta, I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing pretty well, honestly.
Excited to run Dreamland 3 here.
Heck yeah. Tell us a little bit about this game right now.
So Dreamland 3, obviously the third game in the Dreamland series, arguably the final game, but Kirby 64 sort of serves as a sequel to this game as well. But it's the final one we're going to be doing here, and it's the final one with the official Dreamland title. This game, it has 2-player strats. Right after Superstar introduced 2-player strats, this game also has them. So now you can play as Gooey, which was just a minor character in the previous Dreamland 2 game. So I will be doing the 2-player category, so I'm going to be using Gooey to hold abilities and animal friends and just help out throughout the run to save as much time as possible.
That sounds very awesome, honestly. Also, we have Aspen here in commentary as well. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi, my name is Jason.
All right. In that case, I think we're good to go whenever you're ready. Want to give us a little countdown?
All right, let's go to the title screen. We can start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So right off the bat, I'm actually going to be getting straight into the action. This game's really fun because you really start immediately. Like as soon as I get into that cutscene, what I did was reset there, because the game doesn't let you skip cutscenes the first time you watch them. But if you let them open up and then reset, it counts as having watched them. So then when you start over, you can skip them, and the resets are so fast that you save time by doing that. You save a couple seconds because that entire process is just a little bit faster than watching the entire cutscene, which is a bit of a shame because the cutscenes in this game are really nice, but we will be watching all the rest of them, so don't worry about that. This is 100%, so there's going to be a unique objective in every level that we have to complete in order to get the heart star at the end of the level. For this one, for the first level in every world, there's some flower-based objective, and this one's really easy. All you have to do is not step on the flowers. This is one of the objectives in the game that you could do accidentally, literally without even trying. Like in any percent, you have to go out of your way to fail this objective because you don't want to spawn the heart star. So there's Gooey. What I did there was just allow him to go in the door for me because I didn't want to float up to it. So you can spawn him so quickly in this game and also despawn him. If you kill him like that, it costs health because the way Gooey works is he costs 2 health to spawn and gets an entire health bar for himself. And then you can reabsorb him to get that health back. But that's slow, so in a lot of cases, I'm just going to be having him despawn like that, and then I don't get the health back. So there's the first heart star. That's what differentiates any percent from best ending and 100% is getting all of those heart stars. And in this level, it's going to be the first use of an animal friend. Choo Choo is going to be required. There's 3 new animal friends in this game compared to Dreamland 2. So here's Choo Choo, and basically the objective is just to have Choo Choo. They just have a Choo Choo check in the middle of the stage. Choo Choo limits my mobility a bit, like I can't slide there, so I'm going to have Gooey hold Choo Choo for that reason, and also because going through doors in this game is about half a second slower if you have an animal friend. It's a longer animation, so whenever I have the option, I'm going to have Gooey hold the animal friends just so I can go through the door, or if I have the friend, maybe I'll have Gooey go through the door, whatever's most optimal. So the 2-piece strats are really fun because there's a lot of like trading abilities, trading animal friends, and there's a lot of just like trying really hard to save half a second at a time, which doesn't sound like much in like individual instances, but there are so many places you can save a couple minutes over 1P runs.
I know there's also like some like pretty major like skips done of 2-player as well, like later on in the run.
Yeah, there's a couple.
I'm excited to see those too.
If you're doing
Yeah, we're
2-player,
gonna get to them in World 2.
yeah, if you do 2-player like and you don't feel comfortable with the mechanics, you can still do 2-player and save like a minute with just a couple skips that are not only large, save a bunch of time, but they actually make the run a little bit easier. So 2-player is somewhat beginner friendly, although this game in general is not considered to be super beginner friendly, just because of, for one thing, there are basically no iframes. Like if you get hit, you're only invincible for like 10 frames literally. And then the other thing is Coup. We saw Coup a lot in the previous run, and here's another instance of Gooey entering a door because he doesn't have the animal friend, by the way. But yeah, the way you go fast with Coup is just to mash really hard. And Aston, do you want to talk about just mini games in general and what I'm doing here?
Yes. So, at the end of every in the middle of the third stage of every world, there's going to be a minigame that you have to play. And in order to get the best ending, you actually have to complete these minigames and get perfect. Some of them will be easy, like this one. It's pretty simple, just
Still
choose
messed
your
it
correct
up,
world.
though.
But some of them,
Unfortunate.
well, that's fine. That gives me a little bit more time to explain.
Yeah,
some of them will be
I do have
easy,
to
like
restart
this.
the entire stage if I fail any objective.
Others will be a lot more trickier, especially when we get closer to the end. But one trick that we typically use is Gooey, because Gooey actually gets a cursor that allows you to pick with him as well. So you can actually get like a second chance with Gooey, and also since Gooey spawns closer to the door, it's actually faster to spawn Gooey and control him and go to the door at some points.
I'm just going to
Most fortunate
blame
to say.
bad lighting on that one. We'll go with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
If I recall correctly too as well, like one of the worst ones is like I think 5-2 or 5-3, right? One with like the sounds, I think.
The third and the fifth one are
Yes,
both
that's-
pretty bad. I don't actually mind World 5 that much, but World 3 and 4 are also very difficult.
I consider World 5 to be the hardest in my opinion.
Yeah, a lot of people hate World 5 the most. I don't mind it that much. I mean, just choose both of these just to be safe, because they both have similar sized eyes. It can be hard to tell at high speeds. So yeah, that's like a medium difficulty minigame. It's a bit embarrassing to fail, but like it is not at all unusual for runs to die to any sort of minigame. Besides probably the one in World 2, any of the other ones have a really reasonable chance to just end your run because, you know, if I have to restart the entire stage on the third stage, I might as well just restart the run at that point, but it's a showcase, so obviously I'm not going to do that. And because that is a shorter stage in general, the auto-scroll sucks to have to go through it twice, but I only lost like a minute having to redo half of it, so it's not that bad. And what I'm doing right here, I think I got it. There's a new technique that I sort of discovered recently, like the task does it, but I don't think anyone realized that it's humanly viable or that it can help in an RTA speedrun. I call it speed storage. So going back to just how coup works, basically the faster you mash B, the faster you're gonna go, up to a cap of 10 presses per second, which is, I think it's higher than Dreamland 2, or at the very least the speed is higher, so mashing matters a lot more in this game. And that's why a lot of beginners don't like it, because the mashing can really suck to get used to. Here, bosses and mini-bosses have more health if Gooey is around, so I'm going to despawn Gooey and then use him to take care of the body. And then get rid of him again. But yeah, because the faster you mash, the faster you go with Goo, it can be really hard on the hands. And it's a similar story with Kind. The faster you mash in water, the faster you go. So a lot of people, it hurts their hands, or they just don't like mashing, understandably. But if you use speed storage, what you can do is if you do a couple taps really quick, like right at the speed cap going max speed, and then you let go of the right button. Normally when you let go of right, you slow down because you're, you know, not going to the right. But if you're mashing quickly enough, then your speed actually gets locked at the speed cap, and you only have to mash at 5 times per second, which is much easier and much more casual of a mashing speed. And then you're going at max speed, so you're like literally matching the task without having to press the B button 10 times a second. So it's pretty hard to get into that state, and it's not worth it in a lot of different rooms. But if there's a really long room, like there was at the start of that last level, then it can be worth it. I'm going to try to get clean here. Nice. I'm going to use clean for the boss, and if I have Gooey grab it, then I don't have to take the time.
Gooey's going to grab Kind here because it's actually easier to go through a segment with just normal Kirby.
Yep. And I want to be going through all the doors as well. And so the fourth stage in each world has the gimmick of fighting a mini-boss to rescue something, and then the fifth stage is going to be take a specific animal friend to the end, which is kind of cool because you get to actually see all of the animal friends used in this category, where as you basically only see Coup and Kind in an any percent run.
It's actually really awesome, honestly.
Didn't actually.
Just because there's like 3 more in this game too compared to KDL 2.
Yep, wasn't supposed to get rid of Kind there, but it's fine. I'm getting Rick in the next level. So that was mine.
There's actually something cool about
Kind's
this
wife.
game, is that you actually use a lot of the ammo friends throughout the run.
Yep. Messed up the jumps there, that's fine. So I'm going to get Rick here. He's not required for the stage, but I'm actually going to do one of the few glitches in this run that I think I got from the task. So if you have Stone and Rick, then you can actually, if you go into Stone form and then you unstone and drop Rick at the same time, you get a lot of upwards momentum. So this is frame perfect, but if I can do it here. Like I said, frame perfect. There we go. Took way longer than it usually does. But if you get the upward momentum right at the ceiling, you can clip straight through. And then I'm going to want to have Gooey stay behind to grab Rick and take him to me. And that way I can do it 2 more times. gimmick for this stage is collecting those 3 shapes that we're going to give to Pierre the Clown. There we go. Way worse than usual, but still a cool glitch to see. It's like basically the only glitch in the entire run.
Yeah, that was very cool to see.
Most
I was
Kirby
expecting
games,
you to actually do that.
Yeah, most Kirby games are relatively glitch-free with maybe a couple of exceptions, but they seem to be pretty solidly made in general. Either that, or we just haven't found how broken they can be, who knows? But yeah, another reason it's good to have GUI with clean right now is I can keep stone, which just makes me fall faster in that room specifically. I think it was, like Galileo that proved that stones fall faster than Kirby's. I think that's how that goes, right?
Yeah, totally.
So I can have stone just for that one room, and then GUI can have clean for the boss. I'm going to try to be the perfect distance from here so that I won't get hit by the puffs of air, but I can also destroy the fruits and they won't spawn on me. And then you're going to see clean for most of the bosses since it's just a very powerful ability in general. And that was Wispy.
I don't know why Wispy is like demonic in this game. It's so weird.
Yeah, one of the...
Yeah,
like
maybe the first one where he can move. It's kind of creepy for a tree, honestly.
Yeah, uproots himself and everything.
So the lore here is that dark matter has been spreading darkness over the land. So we have to collect all the heart stars by doing these objectives. And we can purge the darkness. Get rid of these tentacles of darkness. I could technically reset here and skip this cutscene, but I would lose Ku. And because I don't have Ku, it basically, the time saved from skipping the cutscene is equal to the time lost from not having Ku, even though I only have him in one room. Just kind of goes to show how good Ku really is in this run. Very necessary.
Plus, there's also something coming up where we're actually going to need to keep cleaning for, so actually to save a little bit more time just keeping cleaning.
Yeah. Save the, 1 second from not reabsorbing clean.
Picking up pitch here, because pitch with cleaning actually turns into a water bucket for some reason.
Yep. Lots of interesting interactions.
And we're gonna need
with
it
clean.
we're gonna need to water these plants that are coming up right here.
So yeah, that's Pitch. He's a smaller bird, the inferior bird, unfortunately. You don't really see him outside of where he's absolutely required. Because sadly for Pitch, why would you use Pitch when you can use Ku? That's the sad truth of it.
Do you like that for sure? I do love the pitch water bucket though. It's very, very good.
Yeah. A lot of cool
something else
abilities
we should
with
also point out. It's important that Railu doesn't water the plants twice there because you can actually crush them with the water for some reason, and it does count as a fail.
Very bad. You need to pay attention to if your water's going to hit. If you hit them twice, they die, and then you got to restart the whole level. If you just miss, you can try again, but if you hit them twice, it's over. Start from the beginning. And that's common for, I think, every flower level. If you touch the flowers with your body, they get squashed and die. And then you have to restart the entire level.
Which is very painful for the fourth one in particular. We'll get to
Yeah,
that in a
that
bit.
one sucks. I'm kind of scared of that one. We'll just not talk about it yet. True, I see in chat, Pitch in Kirby 64 was good. Actually so good that we routed him into the Kirby 64 100% run because he actually has the best aerial movement, even better than Kirby. So this is World 2, kind of like World 3 in the previous game. It's the water world, and because it's the water world, there's going to be a lot of Kine. Ku can swim faster through water than just swimming normally, but he's vastly inferior to Kine in the water. Still better than anyone else, but Kine is, literally meant to be in the water. He's a fish. I was worried about that.
So, we picked up Parasol in the first room because we actually need it for the objectives for the stage.
Yep, you just have
We need a
to.
combination of Kind and Parasol in order to do that.
Yeah, there's like a couple animal friends you can have. They have to hold the parasol above their heads, and that makes Bakasa there just feel happy. Show of friendship, I guess. But unfortunately, I left the room like a frame before he registered what I was doing, so I had to re-enter and do it again. And yes, I am controlling both players by myself, so I'll mostly be using one controller, and then during heavy multitasking segments, I might be using both at the same time, either a couple fingers on the other controller or maybe back to back. Like right here, I'm going to switch so that the second player is behind the first one, and then control them both at the same time, which is a little awkward because all the buttons are backwards on the other controller and switched. But with a little bit of practice, you can eventually get used to it. It's still not easy, but it's a really fun challenge. I like it a lot.
So should I explain the trick that's actually coming up here?
Yeah, do it during the minigame, and then I'll need silence during it.
Okay, so I'll try to explain this quick. So coming up here, we're actually gonna do a bit of an auto-scroll skip using Kind and Spark.
Did you see which one it was?
Well,
Sorry.
explain.
That was 4.
4? Thank you. I looked away at
Yeah.
the exact wrong second.
Okay, good, because I
Thank
was
you,
listening.
Shasta, saving the run.
I got you.
It's a bit of a hard trick because there's a door that Bradley needs to hit like right at the end, so we're just gonna give a little bit of silence so you can actually get this real quick.
I need some quiet
Then we'll explain
time.
the actual one parts.
Doing a claw grip here to hold Y the entire time while mashing B. Shoutouts to Nippo for proving that you can go straight to the door without a setup.
Nice.
That's so ridiculous.
Yeah, so that's a really hard trick to nail. Typically what's supposed to happen is when Gooey gets off camera, he's supposed to warp back to you, but there are a couple of abilities that lets you keep Gooey off screen as long as you just keep using the ability, and one of them is, I believe, Spark and Cleaning are one of them.
Yep, as long as he's using an ability, he won't warp to you, so you just need an ability that can let him move while he uses it. Or ability and friend combo.
Using
I
a
guess.
combination of Kind and Spark, you can basically just navigate through that auto-scroller as long as you know where stuff is.
Like here, I'm using Spark.
The hardest
to
part
keep
is
him off
actually hitting the
screen.
door at the very end.
All right, I'm going to give this one try. This is more difficult and saves less time, so I'll give it one try, and then if it doesn't work, I'll go through normally. Nice, got it.
Nice.
Very impressive. That one's
That's
even
so
harder than
cool.
the last one. There's not even any indication of where you are exactly, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. You can tell if you missed the jump or not, but once you miss it, it's basically over. You got to restart.
I think it only saves like 7 seconds.
I missed Kind there. I didn't want to go
Oh,
through that
no.
door. No. Okay. You do get him in the next stage, so it's not a big deal. But I will have to struggle through this water. We'll get some nice casual
Yeah.
swimming animations here. Kirby's just going for a nice swim.
This does really show how fast Kind is in water compared to
Yeah.
like normal Kirby.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, was just show how good Kind is. And he can make those
Yeah.
jumps, which I apparently can't. And I don't know because I've never not had Kind here.
God, look at those happy frogs. Look at them.
So I lost in that
game's too cute.
tiny little section of water. I lost about 15 seconds. That's how good
Wow.
Kine is in the water. Luckily, there's a current here, so it's not going to be as bad.
Oh, and then there's this room with the Joes.
Yeah, good old Joe. Everyone say hi to Joe. The shark's name is literally
Hi,
Joe.
Joe.
That's not even something
Hi,
we made
Joe.
up.
That's
Yeah,
actually
for
their
some-
name. It's
yeah.
so funny.
Yeah, for some reason they just decided to name this one Joe, and it's funny. Also, it's very important that we don't hit Joe towards the front because then the animation plays and takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, Joe bites you. Joe and the babbits, they'll grip onto you and waste a couple seconds with the animation. So you really don't want to get hit by those. At least if you hit Joe from the back, he won't do it. Or from the sides. So there's a huge skip with 2P. You're supposed to get burning and get stone and go around and break some blocks because you do need to keep Kine here to finish the objective for the level. But if you have GUI, you can just have Kine teleport through solid rock because why not? And that's one of the big skips that I would recommend going for, even if you're a new player, because it literally makes things easier and saves like 25 seconds. So
Also, it's important that we actually kept Kine through the stage because we need Kine for pitch here.
yeah, the gimmick here is to bring pitch to the end of the stage, but you can't actually bring pitch to the start of the stage because there was a water current that Kine was required for, because they want you to use Kine there and then use Kine to get through the water current to get pitch, and then you can finally take pitch to the end of the stage to pitch mama.
A lot of these are getting very complicated going on.
Very creative enemy names here. We got Joe the Shark and Pitch Mama, who I believe is Pitch's mama, if I have my lore correct.
First name Pitch, last name Mama.
And then I'm going to try to get clean here if I can. Nice. You could get it in the next stage as well, but it's a little more complicated and a bit slower. But we don't need pitch anymore, so we'll just leave him here to play like Monopoly or whatever with his mom. Whatever they like to do in their spare time. And then because we're getting out of the water, I'm going to go back and get Ku. The majority of the next level is on land. And then we're also going to want Ku going forward. Kine is better than just normal Kirby in the next level, but not as good as Ku. Something kind of interesting, or I guess maybe boring about normal Kirby movement, depending on how you look at it, is that unlike in Dreamland 2, Kirby runs so fast that all abilities are slower than just running as Kirby. Like if you use burning, it's literally slower than Kirby's normal running speed, which I think makes the game pretty fun just because you can move so fast, even at the very start when you don't have any animal friends or abilities. A complaint I have about Kirby 64 runs is that Kirby's very slow in that, so it just feels like a slow game overall. Luckily, burning actually is good in that game. So here the objective is to carve out a sculpture, and if I destroy any of the wrong blocks, luckily I don't have to reset the entire stage, but I do have to reset the entire room. And once I have completed the objectives, then I can destroy extra blocks. It's fine.
That's that one's the same pattern every time.
Yeah. That's
Nice.
HB002, I think, is the name of the NPC at the end.
Yeah, there was actually a room that you're supposed to go into that actually gives you like the solution.
Yeah, it gives you a
Kind
clue.
of like Kirby 64.
Shows you what to carve.
Makes sense.
Is it? Actually, is there, or are you just supposed to use the shape of the guy? I don't remember.
There's a room like right before it that tells you the solution.
Yeah, another reason I don't want to have clean myself is that clean makes that room super slow. Okay, now here, taking unnecessary damage, but I mentioned earlier that having GUI out makes bosses and mini-bosses take less damage. So I actually spawned GUI there on purpose. What that's going to do is, because Acro takes less damage, I'm going to be able to get 4 hits in. And those 4 hits, they're not as much as, like... Oops, hang on a sec. Losing your ability is really bad here. Oof. Acro moves incredibly randomly, so it's really hard to actually hit him with the enemies. Especially if I can't hit the enemies. And you don't want to see anchors in this case. You can't do anything with the anchors. There we go. So yeah, I get an extra hit in on Acro, which does more than 3 normal hits. So it makes it so I only have to do 2 hits underwater, at least theoretically, which is good because the underwater phase is absolutely terrible, as you just saw, even only having to hit him twice. It still ended up being that long, and I ended up losing clean, which made me have to hit him again. As long as you're really quick on the draw, you can just get 2 hits guaranteed and maybe take damage. Like if you're willing to take damage, then you just damage boost once and the fight goes cleanly for sure, but I was trying to not take any damage, and sometimes that can spiral out of control. I would prefer to have given GUI clean for the second level in this world, but I can pick it up in that level. It'll just be a bit of a time loss. It'll actually be kind of nice because having GUI out, if he's like constantly warping to you, the game tries to be nice and give the screen to both players, but that means that the screen moves differently if you have 2 players out, which also means the enemies spawn differently because they spawn based on where the screen is. So it can actually be very detrimental to have GUI out. If I did have him with clean right now, what I would be doing is I would have the second controller on the floor, and I would just be using my foot to hold the Y button for basically the entire level so that GUI just stands around sweeping the floor and doesn't try to warp to me.
I forgot this is a level where you have to destroy the flowers now rather than like watering them.
Yeah, the gimmick here is you have to not touch the mushrooms, but then you have to destroy the flowers. I think the idea is that the flowers become fertilizer for the mushrooms and food for them. It's kind of dark, honestly.
It's so sad.
Another interesting thing about this game that actually makes it a little bit more beginner friendly. First off, you have 10 health, which is actually quite a lot, but it only compensates for how few iframes there are. But if you have 1 or 2 HP left, what you can do is spawn GUI, and then normally it takes 2 HP to do that, but if you're going to die, they just won't kill you. They'll just put you down to 1 HP. But then you still get 2 HP back when you reabsorb GUI. So if I wanted to, I could spawn GUI right now, which I will do in a second when I'm out of danger. And then I eat him and I get up to 3 health. So you can theoretically always have 3 health. It's just a bit of a time loss each time you do it, which I think is a pretty cool mechanic. However, it's definitely possible to die while trying to eat GUI, and I got a random tomato anyway, so I don't have to worry about it.
You gotta love the tomato grabs at the end of mini games.
Yeah, if you want, you can go out of your way to grab the tomatoes in the jumping minigame. It's a bit difficult. It's like 4 to 6 frames, depending on which spot it spawns in. And it actually doesn't take too long. Like, you're losing half a second or a second, but in order to not die, you know, that's really not that bad, as long as you can hit the jump. And sometimes you just get it randomly and don't lose any time. So here's the level I wanted clean for because it's required. But because it's required, they're nice enough to give you a clean enemy right before the room where you would need it. Let's try to grab this. Nice, barely even had to slow down. That was to Gourmet Race, best song in the game.
It's way up there for sure. There's so many good songs in this game, though.
Yeah, the OST. What am I doing? No, I got the muscle memory wrong. I was supposed to drop it after the next door.
Oh, oops.
Yeah, so you need clean
Well,
there.
that's more gourmet race.
Yeah, you wanna fail in 3-2 or 4-4. So you just keep listening to this song.
Keep on jamming, honestly.
I could have cleaned myself and it wouldn't be that much of a time lost, but I honestly just prefer having burning for the next level, which is probably the most difficult one in the run. Having clean or no ability there is kind of terrible for the first room. And then if I do it this way, I can also have GUI go through the doors in order to save a tiny bit of time there. Plus, if you use coup and clean, you can't actually even hit the dirty spots. All right. Warp to me, GUI. Thank you. Okay. A little bit of technical difficulties there. Yeah, you have to
You
drop
actually hit
coup already.
the edges.
What are you saying?
Oh, you can actually hit the edges of the platform with
Yeah,
the
you can only
coup.
hit the first and last two spots if you have coup. So you need to drop coup in order to hit the middle spots. So instead of doing that, I can just have GUI do it, and then I don't have to drop coup and then go all the way back to re-grab coup, which also plays an animation. There's where I was supposed to drop clean.
Yeah, you also might have noticed that Greyloot positioned himself to basically cover 2 tiles at the same time while cleaning. Just to save a little bit of time there.
And then I missed once or twice because it is pretty precise. So you try to do it. You try to do each room in, I think, 4 sweeps total. And then if you miss hitting directly between the 2 spots, then you might have an extra 1 or 2. Trying to achieve speed storage in this room, but I wasn't able to get it. You can really only tell if you get it by eyeballing your speed. But unfortunately, if you don't get it, you don't know if it's because you weren't mashing fast enough or if you let go of right at the wrong time.
So coming up here, we actually have a really difficult stage, like Ray was saying earlier. 3-3, especially at the beginning, is full of enemies and tight corners that's really hard to just not take damage at points. Which is why it's very good that we actually kept fire and coup.
Yeah, it's also at the end of what I like to call the gauntlet. You don't get a single piece of healing for free in any stage after the middle of 2-5 to the end of this, well, the beginning of the next stage. So you have to go through all of 2-6, half of 2-5, Acro, which I took a bunch of damage on, 3-1, 3-2, and 3-3, all on a single health bar, unless you get a random refill from the goal game like I was lucky enough to get, which honestly is kind of likely because that's like 5 chances. And there are only 9 spots in the game with 2 healing items, so it is likely you'll get at least 2 HP back. Definitely not guaranteed. But yeah, it sucks to have the
It also doesn't help.
worst, hardest level in the game right at the end of that drought of health.
Also doesn't help that there's a minigame right here as well.
Yeah, hardest minigame in my opinion. I'm going to have GUI guess just as a nice backup because there are what I call troll faces in this. They'll pop up, but you are not supposed to count them, and it can be hard to see what they are in your peripheral vision. All right, I'm pretty confident about that one. You want lower numbers so it doesn't take as long to count up, plus it's also a bit easier.
I believe it takes roughly half a second or for them to count.
Yeah, I know I saw at least 2 troll faces, which is pretty mean. But at least I got low numbers, so in terms of speed, that's pretty good.
Yeah, this is like one of the few instances where RNG kind of matters in this run because he actually went very low numbers for that. So it's very unfortunate when you get like a 9 and you have to wait like so much seconds for them to count.
Yeah, each extra number is like half a second or so. Another reason I really like this run is, again, unlike a lot of Kirby runs, there's actually very little RNG. So if you're getting a good time, it's going to be mostly based on skill and less based on just playing over and over until you get lucky. So the mini games are a small portion of RNG, but even if you get the worst scenario, which is very unlikely, you're only saving like 10 seconds over the best scenario, which is also very unlikely. And 10 seconds is a lot, sure, but usually it's like 2 or 3 over the, entire run, maybe 6 seconds variance on the majority of runs. And then only a couple bosses and mini bosses actually matter in terms of RNG. And even then, most of them are very small. The boss of this world is actually going to be the one big RNG point where you can lose technically up to minutes. Like, each cycle is going to be 7 seconds, so we'll see how many cycles it ends up taking. This level is pretty chill. It's a nice breath of fresh air after 3-3, and it gives you that free tomato. You don't have to go out of your way to get it all.
This is also a very annoying auto-scroller if you're going into this blind, because you actually need to choose the correct path in order to get the item that you need for the heart star.
Yeah, it'll tell you what the correct path is after you've failed and take the wrong path. But the first time you're going through, it's basically just pick a path, but at least it doesn't kill you. Unlike World 7 and Dreamland 2. Although to be fair, technically that stage is just a mirror image of one of the earlier stages in World 7, but I don't think anyone's really noticing that the first time, or ever in a lot of cases, honestly. Here's Haboki. They're chill, but we're not going to get clean for this boss. This is going to be the only boss I specifically don't use clean for. Some people do, but I much prefer Parasol. It does technically the same amount of damage, but it's much more versatile. It's almost like playing a fighting game or something. Whereas clean only has one way you can do damage. Did I get stone there? Nice, I did. Didn't think I did, but that'll save a second or two in the next stage. Not required at all, but it's a neat little optimization. So there's just a single long vertical room in the next stage. And as we've seen once already, stone is very good at long vertical rooms. As long as you're going downwards. Here's where I'm going to attempt to grab Parasol while I simultaneously have Gooey enter the door, hopefully. Nice. That door is actually really annoying because it's just slightly off center. So you have to move Gooey a tiny bit over and then stop, because if you move a little bit and then use stone while you're moving, your momentum will actually carry you past the door. I'm going to attempt to have Gooey hold Parasol for the entirety of this and the next level, which would be very much impossible in one player because you're required to use Cutter to break some blocks later in this level. So I would not be able to just carry Parasol through here. It would be very inconvenient and inefficient to get Parasol. I still would get it in the next level, but I would have to go out of my way. But you have to go out of your way to get clean as well. So both options are not ideal, but carrying Parasol when you can just get it on your way, that is ideal. Just one of the very cool optimizations that the two-player aspect of the run allows for. Yeah.
There's also a cool skip coming up with two-player right here, because we actually don't need to use Choo-Choo ability to stick on the wall. We can actually just fly over half of this.
Choo-Choo can climb on ceilings, which is cool, but it's not very fast. So if I have Choo-Choo hold her, I can just fly through the entire area, which that's also a very annoying area to get through and basically requires damage boosts. Like, casually, I don't even think you can get through that without taking damage at least twice. Very strange design. But if Gooey's holding Choo Choo, I don't have to worry about any of that. That room's even faster than, like, even if you have Koo, I would rather have Gooey hold Koo because there's so many enemies and it's such a small space. Kirby can fit past a lot of the enemies, basically all of them, but Koo cannot, so you take damage like 4 times. So you don't even end up saving hardly any time.
So 3-6 here is a very funny stage in any percent because it ends in like a minute, but this is like a very long stage in best ending 100 because we need to collect the 6 pieces of Rob scattered throughout the stage here.
Gotta fix Rob.
Some of them, yeah, we gotta fix Rob. A lot of them requires different animal like partners and like different abilities, but we're gonna see if we can try to do it all with Koo, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you wanna, if you can keep Koo, then you don't have to go out of your way to get abilities or animal friends. So there you're supposed to use Stone, because you do need Koo for this room, but he doesn't fit through this little gap, so you're supposed to use Stone, go down, break some blocks that can only be broken by Stone, and then come back up, which is also a bit dangerous. You can die pretty easily there. But I'll just have Gooey hold him. And then this room, you're supposed to use Kine. That's supposed to be required. But Koo is the second fastest swimmer. You're not supposed to do this. The game devs are frowning right now.
I don't know why you do this, but you can, and it's a lot of mashing.
Yeah, if you mash
just to get this one piece.
If you're mashing faster
My
than 8
reference
times
just
a
looking at
second.
that.
But it's technically the most optimal thing you have to do there.
Yeah, it does save a lot. It's slow, but it saves a lot of time over actually going to get Kine and then going to get Koo again.
This section here, we have to grab the correct ability in order to actually hit the blocks.
Yeah, you can use any ability you want, but not every ability is going to be able to hit the blocks, and it depends on what animal friend you have as well. Like a lot of Koo's abilities actually can't hit above him, so I'm going to just be using simply Kirby for that section.
The cool thing is that Dreamland 3 is actually the second and one of the 2 games in this series where you can actually inhale your ability while hovering or like in the air by just pressing A. The downside about that though is that it's also the same button that spawns Gooey at times, so you have to be careful that you just don't spam it.
Yeah, you don't want to mash A to swallow an ability or you'll get an unwanted Gooey appearance.
Here we're just gonna let Gooey hold on to Koo because it actually makes going down these platforms a lot easier because you don't have to worry about a bigger hitbox.
Yeah, Koo's hitbox is super huge. It's a full 2 tiles, so it can actually be difficult to even get through those. You can only go through the blue parts of the semi-solids, I should mention.
Yep.
So some of them are only 2
I
tiles wide, and you can get crushed if you're just using Koo.
I heard you like light bulb puzzles in Dreamland 2 because they put one here. You technically need Kine and Spark in order to light up the room to see what the correct door is, but we know what the door is, so we just go through the correct path there.
No kidding.
Yeah, and you're supposed to do the same thing in 2-4 as well during the auto-scroller that I skipped to see the secret door. So once again, you have to use Kine and light bulb multiple times in a single run. So I guess developers really like that gimmick, which to be fair, it's nice. I wouldn't say it's the most clever thing ever, but they do make the rooms very dark, so it kind of clues you in, hey, maybe I need some light. But of course, that's only if you already know that the light bulb ability exists. Which hopefully you do, because
and
Kirby games are really all about exploring different abilities and animal friends.
Mm-hmm. Especially in a speedrunning sense sometimes. Like for like this especially, yes.
So here's the major RNG. Neither of these bosses have any obligation to show up on any cycle whatsoever. You can just get like 4 cycles in a row with no one that you can hit. Oops. You can get a max of 3 hits per cycle. But as you can see here, you can just get neither boss. And I've already destroyed one, so there's only one that can even show up. I missed the triple hit there, but we'll just finish him off. Didn't get too punished for it.
Yeah, that could have gone much worse.
And that still went way better than it would have if I had coup and clean, because you're kind of just a sitting duck. You're basically required to take a bunch of damage if you use coup and clean, where you could theoretically take 0 damage and go faster if you're using parasol. I think that was like a 5 cycle, so below average. But 4 cycles pretty average. 3 cycles the best you can hope for. 2 cycles technically possible, but I've only gotten it once in a run ever, and it was a dead run already anyway.
Definitely be like that sometimes.
Yeah, that was pawn and con for anyone that missed it. I had only gotten the 2 cycle 3 times ever, I think, prior to last week, but while I was practicing during one session, I got it 3 more times. Problem with getting a 2 cycle is that you need extremely good odds, like I would estimate 1 in 64, and then you also need to execute very well. So about, 2% of the time it's even possible. Ish, somewhere around there.
So remember a while back when we said that there's going to be a flower stage that is very annoying if you fail it? Yeah, this is the stage. The stage is very long for no reason, and the objective is at the very end, and you could fail it, and it hurts.
Literally the last room of the stage. And then if you mess up, you have to restart the entire stage. I think I'm going to take it a bit safe.
There's an auto-scroller too?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I did 2 full runs to practice this, and in those 2 runs, I failed this level 3 times. So I think I'm going to take it a bit safe.
Understandable.
They're at least nice to actually give you the ability, like, in the same room. But that's also, like, why?
Like the least they can do with how mean it is. So the objective is going to be that there are some dirty flowers, and you can clean them off with, I think, Kirby clean, Coup clean, and Rick clean all work. Basically anything that has a broom or a feather duster. This room is one of the most intimidating when you're first learning the game. When you're using burning, the screen doesn't really stay ahead of you like it does when you're just flying. And since you're using burning basically the entire time, you can't really see much, and you basically just have to memorize where every enemy is, which I have done. But here's a scare room.
And
Just going to not get within a mile of these flowers if I can help it. If I touch them before I dust them off, they die. If I touch them after I dust them off, they die. Technically, if I touch them, yikes, within a very... Oh, I lost. Where's my thing? Don't kill it. Don't kill it, please. That's never happened before.
okay. I also completely forgot about the clouds, like, obstructing your view as well.
Yeah, sometimes you can't even see the flowers at all, so you really have to be careful.
So mean to the game. Why would it do that?
If I were doing a serious PB attempt, there's actually a small window right after you clean them off where they're invincible. So if you're super fast, you can clean them off and then fly straight through them. And then as long as you do it correctly, then you don't even have to worry about touching them and destroying them. But if you're a little bit too far to the right, you'll hit them before you even clean them. And if you're a little bit too far to the left, you won't be fast enough, and their iframes will wear off just before you get past them. But yeah, playing that room safe is a very respectable strat, even in PB attempts. It's one of the heaviest reset levels in the run, probably. And even in a marathon, it's kind of even worse because it's right at the end of a very long level, as we mentioned.
This is a fun stage. This is like, I've got 8 streams of just nothing because you can mash through it with food.
Yep. A lot of people...
The only thing that we have to
Go ahead.
pay attention to is just grabbing Needle for the mission at the end.
Yeah, for some reason, you need to pop a balloon, and you can't use cutter, you can't use burning, You can only use needle, which I think at least cutter, not being able to use that is a bit of an oversight. But it's whatever, they give you what you need, so can't complain too much. But yeah, some people complain about this game, say that it's boring because you can just fly over every level with Coup. And for 90-95% of levels, that's not true because they put you in tight spaces, caves, aerial enemies, stuff like that. But this is one of the 1 or 2 levels in the game where that really is true. Like, I am just flying over the entire level. I'll give you that point.
Yep, we need a needle for that one mission at the very end.
Yeah, free little chick.
We have to.
Yeah, I think that's Pio and Keko are their names.
I actually forgot to refresh on what half these NPCs' names are.
Yeah, I used to know the name of every enemy and NPC in the game. I still remember most of them, but not all.
Yeah, and I believe most of them are actually based off of, like, something.
Yeah, a lot of the characters at the end of stages are a reference to something or another, like Rob was.
We have Rob, and we also have, like, the girl that would be the gooey girl in the Japanese version.
Yeah, Chow
I know it was also
Goku.
Samus eventually, too, in this.
Yep.
Yeah.
World 4 is pretty chill overall. It's not super easy, but it gives you the occasional health drop, so you usually are able to gain a little bit of health as long as you're not taking too much damage. So even if you come in with like 3 HP, you're usually at like 6 or so by the time you leave. This is another difficult game. I can ask for any of the 3 colors, so I have to remember all of them.
Yeah, and there's a small chance that it can also be gray.
I know it can't be gray, but the gray can appear and throw off your count.
Oh, yeah, sorry. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Gray can also appear, but they can't ask for that.
That was 3, right? Can I get any confirmation on that? Pretty confident about it.
I believe that was 3.
Okay.
There was a
think-
lot, right? I missed it.
I missed it too, yeah. Okay, it was cool.
Yeah, I was pretty sure about that. That's pretty good. It seems like it picks one of the colors from random based on what's already there. So if there's like 8 of one, then it's probably going to pick that color because there are so many. So to get one of the smaller number of colors, to get the 3 there instead of the 6, is pretty lucky. There's over a 50% chance I would have had to get the 6, which, as we mentioned earlier, just takes longer to count. But not a big deal, but it does feel especially lucky to get the lower numbers in that minigame in particular. And here's just a literally minute-long autoscroller. This game is a bit infamous for having too many autoscrollers, and that I can agree with. Luckily, it doesn't feel that bad because you're mashing so much. The autoscrollers are actually a bit of a nice break. So even though there are like...
This is usually the
behind
time it's usually the time I take to like hydrate and just stretch
Yeah.
because it's like a minute long.
Mm-hmm.
good for reading donations if you're doing like a marathon run. There's the other gourmet race stage, and this is also the other stage in the game besides the first one where you might accidentally complete the objective. Like sometimes when you're doing an any percent run, you grab the Mikarine, as it's called, without even meaning to, and then you lose like 2 seconds from when the heart star spawns. That animation.
It's also important that we keep fire for this stage because we're actually gonna have to fight a mini boss that's really annoying if we don't have an ability.
Jump or shoot. Infamous mini boss. A lot of people, when they're doing the classic titles relay, whoops, forgot about this room. A lot of people found out the hard way that if you don't have an ability going into jump or shoot, it's literally faster to restart the entire stage and go through it again to get an ability because jump or shoot gives you so few attacks to hit them back with.
it's really obnoxious because, of course, it's at the end of the stage as well.
For anyone who's like,
Of course it is.
why do video game bosses just give you the attack you need to beat them? Well, Jumper Shoot took that personally, and they only use the attack that makes them invincible 90% of the time. So there, you need to go left for this room. So a lot of times people forget about going left in the previous room, and they just accidentally grab that Clementine in an any percent run. Of course, I want to, because I need to do all the things.
Yeah. I like that.
Like the name of the show.
Whoa.
Crazy.
This is the part where we roll credits, right?
Yeah, I did it all.
Just play the outro song.
Yeah, the gimmick there was that you're in a tornado, so there are strong winds pushing either with or against you in every room. This is what I like to call the Mario stage of the run. Oops, not yet. Because you need to go through it with Rick, and Rick jumps off of enemies and does wall jumps just like Mario would.
Yep. So we're gonna have to use Rick here to basically just do platforming, and I really hope you know that Rick can wall jump because it's pretty much needed. They added that ability from Dreamland 2.
How did that hit me? I can jump off the tops of enemies like that. So that propeller should not have hit me. Luckily, they're not one-hit KOs like they are in Dreamland 2. Okay, I pressed the B button to spawn GUI, which is not correct. To be fair, when you're using one hand on a controller, it can be hard to hit the right buttons. I almost walked off the edge, luckily. I reacted to it in time. Because I was going to have GUI go through the door, so it would have been fine. Like, I don't need to worry about going off the edge if I'm through the door. This is another slightly infamous stage in best ending runs. A lot of runs die here because if you miss a jump, you can plummet and die. There's not a lot of floor below. Although if you're aware of where the floor is, you can usually save it. But the important thing is not to panic.
Your name is Pick, right? I think it's Pick,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
We had Rick,
Yeah.
and that was Pick. Pick's girlfriend, or Rick's girlfriend's named Pick. And Kyne's wife is named Mine.
Very adorable. This game's just too cute in general. I know it's Kirby and all that, but like, but still.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I never really said, but I really love this game's like art style. It's one of my favorites of the series.
It's fantastic. It really is.
this game is good to run because you don't really get tired of it, even if you get, overly saturated with the gameplay. It always looks and sounds so good that you don't even mind.
Hmm.
It's a vibe, as the kids say.
Gotta agree.
Now I'll try to do some complicated shenanigans, constantly switching coup between GUI and Kirby depending on whatever is the most effective for a certain room. Here there's a new double star strat. Dang it, missed it. If you can get a double star, you can burst through all of the blocks at once, and you can just basically keep up with the double star. Nice lag. So much lag.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is like the one room that lags in the game, which is funny.
I was gonna say, I don't really see lag in this game otherwise.
Yeah, there's
I think it's perfectly fine in literally every other version, though.
because there's like 7 sprites
Okay.
on screen, it ends up lagging a lot. But the double star strat prevents that because it kills the sprite and they're also not on screen for as long.
Makes sense.
Another block puzzle right there. The solution was basically the room before it,
Yeah.
but catches is that we have to do it in the opposite, like upside down.
Yeah, it gives you the solution upside down, and then you have to reverse it to actually solve the puzzle.
And then from here, we're just gonna pick up cleaning, if I remember correctly,
Yep.
because we're gonna be using it for the boss.
I'll just have Gooey go to the grocery store and pick up a broom. Because I don't want to. And that's literally all we used Gooey for, just to save going over there and picking up clean ourselves. Those tiny optimizations adding up that I think really make this game fun in 2P mode. Yeah, this game was released after the N64 came out, which was bad for its sales, but it means they pretty much knew what they were doing, and they were able to make a really good game from it.
Kirby games releasing at the end of a console's lifespan? What's that?
I've never heard such a thing.
Can't believe it.
Anyway, it's time for Dreamland 2's greatest hits. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Dreamland 2 any percent speedrun coming up. It took Reowner about an hour to do 100%, but little known fact, any percent speedrun's only like a minute long. So we're just gonna burst through all these bosses here. Literally just an Easter egg hunt from the previous game.
It really is just Dreamland 2, all the bosses here. No
Yeah.
kidding.
The only boss that's not here is North Benelli, which is just a normal enemy.
And then Wispy, which we already fought.
And then finally the actual hard part, which is Krakow.
Yeah, it is actually quite difficult to do Krakow without taking damage, especially depending on what attacks you get. You want that Rotato, as it's called, in the boss rush category at the end of the run, but not so much here. I would have preferred one of his other attacks where he doesn't move so much.
Yeah, unfortunately for us, that's Rotato, we lose. Not Rotato, I win.
Yeah. You can't even sit on the ground when Krakow does that because Ku's hitbox is so tall that you'll get hit. So you actually have to move to the sides, which can make it hard to do damage efficiently. Alright, last world of the run. Arguably my favorite cutscene, but they're all so good it's hard to pick.
They really are.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Oh my goodness. I love Gooey so much.
I wish Forgotten Land speedruns, like, I wish the game had 2P just like this, where you could spawn in and get rid of the second player at any time.
Yeah, it could be nice for sure.
2P would end up being
At
so
least use
much
two
more
players
useful.
sometimes. Yeah, at least use two players sometimes, and like, I like all wall Ds and stuff.
Yep. It would probably be useful.
But still, you have to like go to the whole menu and all that.
Even at any percent, it would probably save time if it was this efficient.
I do find it weird that it takes a bit of time for us to have two-player in Forgotten Land, because in Return to Dreamland they had pretty much perfect. Where it was just jump in and jump out.
Yeah.
Get to the point where in that run you use 4 controllers.
Also,
Yeah.
It's ridiculous to me.
in these other games, like, you can spawn more Kirbys, so you can use abilities, or Gooey can also use abilities, but Bandana Waddle Dee, while having Spear is cool, because that's not in the game, you can't use any other abilities, which is a little bit disappointing. So that's another flower puzzle. That's not quite as difficult as the World 4 one, but you can hit the flowers after burning them, and they will die, and you will have to restart the stage. Luckily, if you have iframes, you don't destroy the flowers, so when I got hit onto them, I was able to move off before I killed it. I think I got
Metroid.
Yeah, I think I got speed storage here. So
There you go.
this is called gliding, where you just hold down and you can actually maintain your speed without holding right at all.
Flying is really cool in certain sections.
Yeah, I made a guide for Ku that goes really into depth in all the movement. And usually gliding isn't good because it's a bit slower than going normally, but if you have speed storage, then you do go at full speed while gliding. so you can literally go the same speed as the task without doing anything other than holding down if you set it up correctly.
We have another slow auto-scroller here with an avalanche chasing behind us.
Yeah, this one's easy not to get hit if you just stay in the upright corner, but they will troll you at the end. There's an overhang, and if you go over that, there's no door. You don't make it. You just get crushed against the edge of the wall, which is kind of unfair if you're doing it casually. I don't think they really give you any indication that you shouldn't go there or any time to react.
Or you could be like me and just enter the door while the avalanche is covering the screen.
Yeah. You can go in the door while the avalanche is in front of it, but it's so hard to see that it can be pretty difficult and very scary. Up here, I hear that Metroids are weak to ice. Unfortunately, I've never played any Metroid games, so I don't know that firsthand. But yeah, we freeze.
This is very true. Can't confirm.
Nice. Yeah, no, you
Can't
speedrun
confirm
some
Metroids are weak to ice.
Metroid games, Shasta. Yeah, we're going to take care of the enemies for Samus and just kind of let her sit back. You know, she's done a lot of work already. And
Definitely deserves a little break.
yeah, we're going through the area. Might as well take care of the Metroids while we're here. There's a nice little safe spot. It's kind of precise, but there's one little spot where you can just hold forward and then the Bronto Birds will hit you. As you can probably see, if you're just in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, they will hit you because they spawn right on top of you. Yo, fight me and Smash! I'll fight you and Rob at the same time.
You
Yo,
lose.
look, it's
You
my-
lose the matchup.
It's my Smash main.
You play Samus in Smash?
Yeah, I'm a range fighter. I like Samus.
I mean,
Oh yeah, Samus is awesome.
I mean Kirby, so we can fight, and it'll be canonically accurate or something.
And I main Rob. Not really.
Dang it.
And you'll both probably win because I'm really bad at Smash.
I play a lot of Smash, honestly.
I've been meaning to get back into it.
We gotta play in either Brawl or 4, where Kirby is much better than in Ultimate.
Sure.
Dang. Kirby's fun, Ultimate, though. Or in the Forbidden Smash game where like everyone's pretty good, including Kirby.
So 5-3 here is a special stage that I have no hard feelings for in the slightest. And absolutely not bitter.
Auto scroll kind of sucks. It's very long. You can die and take damage pretty easily. And if you fail the mini game, you gotta restart and do the entire thing again. But here,
And for many, the minigame here is probably the hardest one of the 5.
I can't actually physically break those blocks with Coup and Burning, so I could drop Coup and headbutt them myself. But if I do that, I will freeze the entire game with the animation of rejoining Coup. So I just have Gooey do it for me, or I could have Gooey hold Coup for a second. Because if you swap Coup between the players, there's no animation, unlike when you drop an animal friend and then re-grab them. It is technically possible to skip that auto-scroller, but I haven't found a way that's really viable to save time, RTA. The task does it, but the task uses Rick for like half of World 5, I think. And that's pretty ridiculous. Shoutouts to WaddleDX who made the task. It is mind-boggling, and I would suggest people watch it. It's super crazy to watch.
Yeah, it's a really good task. Also, hold on.
Nice.
Cool.
Thank goodness. I was nervous
Yeah.
about that one.
So that's one of my least favorite minigames of the bunch. It's a sound-based minigame that's really hard at times because a lot of them kind of sound similar to me. and it's placed like at the end of a very long all roller. So if you fail it, you pretty much have to do that very long all roller again just to have another shot at that.
I like to just give the different sounds names and then remember the names of them in order, which seems pretty consistent for me. I'm like the only one that doesn't absolutely hate that game. Everyone else that runs this game has a big grudge against Chef Kawasaki.
Myself included.
I'm going to attempt to get Parasol here just for the mini boss. That might have worked. It didn't. Okay, it's not required. It saves a little bit of time because it's a little bit stronger, so it only takes 3 hits to take out the mini boss instead of 4, which normally wouldn't be a big deal, but Yuki in particular, which is the mini boss, goes invincible between attacks, so 1 extra hit can take like 5 extra seconds.
It's also important that we don't move in that one room right there because if you move once, the flame Gabos will aggro, and it's pretty much impossible to set yourself back up.
Yeah, I just went straight down, but if you move literally a pixel left or right, one side of Galvos is going to trigger and you're going to get hit like 5 times. Other than that, there's just a lot of like memorizing rooms ahead of time so you know which direction to go before they load, preferably, which is kind of like practice for the next level where, you know, this level has like 10 pretty quick rooms in a row, maybe a little more. The next level has, I think, 37 or so. There's a lot
It's
of
in the
rooms
30s,
back.
if I remember
Yeah, it's
correctly.
definitely over 30. There's a lot of just super tiny rooms that you just have to memorize the order of. And even after running this game for years, I still sometimes mess up the order every once in a while.
So this part is actually kind of interesting. We actually need Ku to even get into this part in the first place, and we need to switch between Ku and Choo Choo because Choo Choo is the only, I believe, the only animal friend that could fire upwards, if I remember correctly. Well, in this section at least.
Yeah.
All to get this shell.
That's what happens
And
when
then
you
there's the Yuki here.
mash A to absorb a power instead of just pressing it. Not only is Yuki invincible between attacks, if it goes into the corner, there's no way you can hit him with Ku and Fire, or Ku and Burning, I should say, without taking damage, or at least it's very difficult. So yeah, what I did in the room before that was actually left Ku outside so that he would respawn where I wanted him in the room, instead of having to go back a long ways to get him, like back to where Choo Choo was. He just naturally spawns in the middle. So that's a little bit closer to where I want him to be, which I did not come up with that strat, for the record. I think I took it from like Plenty or maybe the Task. This next level, as we were talking about, it's, you know, it thinks it's funny. Every other 5th level of the world gives you the animal friend you need in that level. So you can just, you know, pick them up, take them where they need to go, and you're good. Not only does this level not do that, it gives you every other animal friend at least twice, just really rubbing it in your face that you don't have Nago. So
That's so mean.
if you mess up, the game really wants you to know it. And especially casually, it can actually be pretty difficult to even do this objective, because if you die once, you're going to lose your animal friend, and because it's not in the level, you gotta go back and start again.
This entire stage is basically just one beginner's trap. Because if you don't know and you just go through a stage without it, it's literally minutes you're losing.
Yeah, 3-3 is arguably the hardest stage in the game. This one's probably the hardest for beginners because there's so many rooms in a row that you have to just memorize. And they're not all easy either. About half of them are. You just hold right, but the other half, they can be pretty tricky. Like this one, it's hard not to take damage in. Gooey failed the challenge miserably, but luckily I was able to avoid any damage.
Yeah, so far I count all the other animal friends, and there's like 4 of them here so far. The only one not seen is Ku and Nago. So no kidding, so far I'm not having Nago at all right here.
Yeah. Now we'll see.
It's like it feels like
Kind and not, or
it feels like
here,
yeah,
right here.
because it feels like, why is Kind there after all? Like Nago should probably be here instead, right?
You'd think so. The game really wants to rub it in your face, though. It's not going to give you Nago, and you're just going to have to deal with it. Not only that, but if you failed, it's your own fault and you're terrible. And here's all the other animal friends that you don't need. Very angry level. Kind of funny, honestly. But sucks when you're a beginner. There's a couple more that you don't need.
Why though?
Who knows?
And yeah, some of these rooms,
He's mysterious, I guess.
some would be a little bit easier with Nago, but when possible, I want to go through with just Kirby because of what I mentioned earlier, where going through a door is like half a second faster. And because there's over 30 doors in this level, I'm saving like 15-ish seconds by not using Nago for any except that one cannon room.
I believe we're actually getting close to the end, though, if I remember correctly.
The end of the main game, yeah.
Or the end of the stage, I should say.
Oh yeah, that as well. Second to last stage in the game. Yeah, the Zebins here are fast, but they have a long startup, so I skipped the first one since it's only gonna cover a little bit of distance anyway. You can technically skip
What's her
all of
name?
them. That's Shiro.
Hero, okay.
Nago and Shiro. Shiro means white in Japanese. So pretty on the nose. Since it's just a white cat. Shout outs to Shiro Kirby.
This is probably my favorite song in the game.
Oh,
Yeah,
this is a
Shiro
good one.
Kirby.
But this can
This song also appears in Kirby Star Allies as well. Whenever he runs of that game, I always hear it and absolutely jam out too.
pretty good. I like it more than the Kirby 64 boss rush even. So I'm going to be trying to use a new strat here. Where I use Gooey for the majority of this level so that I can keep clean. So I'm going to be attempting to control both players at the same time for most of it and just constantly getting rid of Gooey. I don't really have the time to be reabsorbing him and dealing with all the abilities. So I'm just going to be destroying Gooey over and over, which is going to cost me 2 health each time. So I will be going down to 1 HP, which means if I take any damage, I'm going to die, which at least I won't have to restart the entire stage, but fighting some of these bosses powerless would not be fun, so I'm going to try to just never get hit.
And it's very important that we don't destroy the boss's corpse because we do need them to actually get the stuff at the end of the fight.
It's very, very important. If you beat the boss and then destroy or spit out their corpse, you just have to restart the whole stage. Or if you lose the ability in any way, it's just back to the beginning. At least if you die,
And it can take minutes.
yeah, go. At least if you die, you can retry the fight. But if you win and then fail, then you lose the ability and restart the stage. Did not need to have Gooey grab that since I already have it, but it's fine. Didn't really lose any time, and I'm already at 1 HP, so not worried about it.
You can have a little broom as a treat.
Yeah, well, teamwork. I'll let him get
Everyone needs a broom once in
all
their life.
of the. Oops. I'll let him have all the feathers. Why not? Should be good.
That's a lot easier than Dreamland 2.
Yeah, Stitch pretty much just goes down instantly with the Pling and Choo Choo.
That's a little sample of what can happen when I get my muscle memory mixed up. When you're trying to do 2 people at the same time, if the muscle memory's on and you just do it instantly, you know, it looks smooth, feels good. But if one little thing goes wrong, it's really hard to recover because then your brain is trying to control two different people with two different controllers, and one of them's backwards.
So this is CD. This is where any percent will pretty much end after you fight this fight. But since we have all the hard stars, we can actually do the true final boss sets after this. DD himself is pretty simple. First phase is nothing, but the second phase is where things get a little bit interesting because there's one attack that is much easier to like attack him with, which is, I believe, he shoots projectiles and he just sits still.
Yep.
Luckily, that was still a really good fight, though.
Yeah, if you do it
That's
quickly
very
enough,
clean.
you can take him out as the first attack starts, so you don't have to worry about getting hit. Now that I have
Also, one of my favorite songs name come up here too.
Indeed.
Yeah, all of Hyperzone's really good.
Mhm.
So now that we have all the heart stars and have beaten all the bosses, we're going to be able to create the love stick and go to the obligatory space shooter final extra boss person that they have in every single Kirby game. So here I'm actually going to reset. That's another cutscene you can skip. But actually, no one did that for a while, and then I took that from the task, which is really nice because not only do you skip the cutscene and save time, because you reset, your health goes back to full, which is huge. Because you might have only like 3 HP after beating GDD, and this boss is so random, you could take 3 damage on just dark matter. And there's not always anything you can do about it if you get really unlucky. But having full health is really, really good.
And I actually forgot, is it stronger to get the rod hits with the love stick?
It doesn't matter in this case.
Oh, it doesn't matter, okay.
And Kirby's Adventure, if you do melee hits, they do like 1/6 of the damage or something ridiculous like that. But in this game's fine. And we're actually going to have Gooey show up for one finale. I could just let the
Gooey.
AI control him, but it wouldn't be very effective, so I'm going to go through the extra effort to try to mash on both controllers at the same time, while also controlling Kirby. I don't really care if Gooey dies.
Yeah.
So this
Because Zero, I believe, has less invincibility frames, it's actually faster to use GUI here.
Yeah,
Or
Zero has
GUI as well.
no iframes, so even though he's taking less
No
damage, he's not taking half the damage. So less damage times 2 still ends up as more than I would be doing by myself. I don't know what the exact fraction is, but it's like 2/3 or 3/4 damage or something like that. Looks like Gooey might even survive. Oh, almost. Spoke too soon.
Dang.
But I would have had to get rid of him
Very
for the
close.
final phase anyway. And I bet not all of you know that Kirby is actually so powerful. He has his own gravitational pull, and he can just attract satellites like this. You do that right, you literally don't need to move. And there's best ending. Not time yet, though.
Yep. So best ending would end there.
So the
I got 3 more % to get though.
Yeah.
100% is not popular, but the good thing about it is that you can literally just do best ending runs, and then if you get a good run, then you just do the last 3% and make it a 100% run as well.
Very true. The unfortunate
So-
thing is they do skip the best ending credits though, and that's one of my favorite things in this game,
Yeah.
personally.
The credits would take
Sure,
forever,
but we do get the
but we can soft reset.
boss bunch credits at the end though.
Yep.
Oh, you do? You're so right.
Which is similar thing, but slightly has slight differences, like Easter egg type things, I guess.
Yeah, and the art's different on the color book.
So now you have to. Everyone's favorite part of the run is the mini games. Obviously, we've all been talking about how much we love them and don't hate any of them. So now at the very end, you have to do all 5 in a row without any mistakes. And I'm pretty sure they all have different backgrounds, and I'm pretty sure they chose the backgrounds specifically to make them harder. It's like the one with the Gordos is gray. The one with this blue and white eel is like white and washed out. The one with the other Gordos that's going to come up is also black and gray. Luckily, this one's still pretty easy. And it's also harder because you cannot spawn GUI as a second option, even if you want to.
So beyond just this right here, there's also, I know, the boss push at the end, like a boss rush. What's the other minigame we gotta do?
Jumping.
The jump mini game.
Oh yeah, that one, yeah. That one's tricky.
It's hard.
These are all tricky, but
It's
yeah.
hard to get the items you want in goal games, but it is worth practicing somewhat because you also have to do the jumping mini game 400%. All right, did other people see 4? I saw
4.
max 4. There was one troll face. I think there was not another one, and I could.
Yeah.
I was looking at the gum, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Usually,
I saw the troll face, so I knew.
usually if you're not
was
sure whether it's a troll face, then it's not. That's what I found. Took me quite a while to get a 100% run where I didn't die on any of these last 3%. Because a single mistake, and you have to restart whichever thing you're playing. Is that number 3? Get any confirmation on that?
I couldn't hear.
It was either 3 or 4.
I couldn't hear that one properly. I couldn't hear that one properly.
No!
This is the
Literal last one.
Damn.
So now I have to
That
do
one's so hard.
the entire thing over. Dude, I blame the, what do you call it? Not the furnace, but whatever it is, kicked on right as I got to that mini game and started making noise.
Dang.
I
Make
just
sure
put in
to-
Kawasaki.
Same? Yeah, make sure to mute just to make sure nothing happened on my end at least.
Not a bad idea.
That one's brutal, to say the least.
I should have turned the TV up just to be safe. I did that now. But yeah, isn't it fun to lose the entirety of a 100% run, hour and a half in, because you make one mistake on a single minigame?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's painful.
The other ones, you still lose the run, but at least it's not an hour and a half in with an already completed best ending portion. Although I suppose that the fact that best ending is already completed is a good thing, because then at least you have something. Can I get a confirmation on that one? That,
I think it was 5.
I'm pretty sure it was 5 as well.
okay. That's the only time I've ever not been sure about that one. Literally the only time I can remember failing that is when I got a misinput. Maybe I did when I was first learning, but in recent memory, I've never failed it in terms of not knowing where the eel was. Yeah, you have to pass all 5, no mistakes, no exceptions, in a row.
All mini games, no messed up.
And that's
Final
why
Destination.
there's only like 600% runs submitted on the board. 2 troll faces out of 6. That's just mean.
So mean.
I didn't even see the second troll face. Wow.
This is why people don't run 100%.
I appreciate you running for us today.
No problem. I don't mind it that much. At least the mini games are mostly fair, so even though it is a really rough challenge, at least if you fail, It's on your own merit, and they are practicable. While they're random, you can get better from practice. I'm at the point where I'm like 80 to 90% consistent with all of them, but when you have to do them all twice in a run, that's still a good chance of failure. All right, there we go.
Nice.
And then you can reset rather than watch the results, which saves just a couple seconds.
Time for jumping.
A bonus, listen to the best song in the game, IMO.
Yeah, so I believe it's 4 to 6 frames for each option.
Yeah, it depends.
And the more you go, it gets harder.
Yeah, it depends on which one you're trying to jump to. Could be anywhere between 4 and 6 frames inclusive. So you need to get 10 in a row without missing a single time.
For a lot of people, this is actually really hard.
Yeah, this is probably the one I fail the most when I'm doing 100% runs. Especially since it's really hard to do when you're rusty without getting into the flow of it first. But if you get 10 in a row,
easy 10 there.
you're good.
Time for the final part, which is boss push, which is basically just a boss rush. Except this time we don't have cleaning and coup, so we're gonna have to do these bosses actually legit.
Yep, powerless boss rush, which also means you're completely dependent on RNG. Like, if they don't decide to give you any attack like this, you're just not going to do any damage. I've been working on an RNG manip for this portion, and by working on, I mean I started it like 2 years ago and haven't touched it since. But I do want to eventually finish that. So hopefully I could get every boss to give only useful attacks. And then you could save like 2 minutes right at the end of the run and not rely on RNG. So for that second phase, I was trying to actually delay my hits, because if you do it too quickly, it'll interrupt Wispy's next attack. Unfortunately, I messed up a couple of those, so I interrupted 1 or 2 of the attacks. Here, this is that Wispy phase 2 along with this Acro phase 1 are some of the only non-RNG parts in the entire boss rush. What I'm going to do here, this will end the phase, so I want to wait for him to give me 1 more rock, since it's guaranteed, and also it's a much easier phase than this. So here we really don't want to see anchors, but even if I do get good projectiles, he can just kind of dodge them like that. The movement is completely random, I can't predict it at all. So if Acro just decides to not run into my shots and just juke around them, I'm simply not going to be able to hit him. Although that one
Acro's
was my
definitely one of
fault.
the more annoying bosses for this one.
Yep. A couple of those are my fault, but for the most part, it's just luck dependent. And then if you can't finish him in this phase, usually you can finish him when he hits the wall, since he at least doesn't move. But even then, you might not be able to get any rocks that you can actually hit, because sometimes they'll spawn right next to each other, so you can't get behind either of them. And my primary objective for this is going to just be not taking damage like that. Let me show you what I won't do ever. Because if you die in this, you have to start the entire boss fight, like the entire boss glitch section over. And it's like a 10 to 15 minute section.
It takes a bit. So it's just very important we just don't die and just play defensive.
Yeah, whatever you do, just do not die. Even in runs, like the time you'll lose by playing safely isn't that much, but the time you'll lose by dying kills your entire run. Now I'll actually get to see some of these Dreamland 2 bosses. I'll wait to see if Ice Dragon gives me an extra ice block afterwards that I can use on Sweet Stuff. Once I get the last one here, will he give me another? Nope. It would be nice if he did because Ice Dragon has a 50% chance to give you ice blocks, but Sweet Stuff only has 1 out of 3 of their attacks actually being useful. So there's all 3 of them, and only the Starfish attack can actually be used as an attack for me. I sort of feel like that Starfish attack is less likely than the other attacks too, just based on feel. It sure seems to give a lot of electricity, but not a lot of Starfish, although this one was pretty good pattern.
Mr. Shine Sprite next.
This is the only part of Auto that's not RNG.
My favorite part about this, though, is that when you defeat the moon, the sun does the DVD movement where it hits the sides of the screen.
Will it hit the corner?
God, you're so right.
When somebody told me that, I just can't unsee it.
Kracko has 2 attacks that can allow me to hit it, but one of the attacks only might allow me to hit it. So even the RNG has RNG. Here, if I do it right, I can get a triple hit. Nice. So if you get perfect RNG, you might be able to destroy Kracko in 3 attacks. Here's the attack that might give me something. There we go. Fun fact, Kirby's walking speed is exactly the same speed as this attack.
Oh, no kidding.
Just casually avoiding thunder.
Kirby's not afraid. Alright. Did take a little bit of damage. Oops, turn around faster than I expected. Everyone shame me for taking damage from Adeline. I'm sorry. That's embarrassing.
fine.
I have brought shame.
No.
Now we'll actually get to see the first phase of DD.
Yep. Both phases.
Oh yeah, true. We kind of just destroyed him last time.
And we'll have
Wait,
more of
I just
the
realized
music.
this is pretty much just Dreamland 2's fight.
But we really don't want to see the inhale, especially if it hits me because it has a very big hitbox. You want,
Dreamland 2's greatest hit, strike again.
as usual, you want the hammers for 1 hit or the jumps for 2 hits. Same as in Dreamland 1 and 2. And here he has 2 attacks, only one of which is useful. And if he does use this attack, I want to be close to the ground like this, so I can hit him from the ground. Otherwise, I'm probably not going to be able to get all 3 hits off.
Would be nice.
I can just get 1 more attack. Useful attack. Nope. Alright, it was just barely low enough. Let's go. Not too
And
bad.
just like that, DD's done. Now, I need people to avert their eyes because this next part is very ugly.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know why they thought making the background Swiss cheese and red polka dots was a good idea, but yep, it sure is.
At least
It's
it's
RGB background, I guess.
not as bad as Dream
Or,
Collection.
no.
Yeah, it is.
The primary background,
colors, yeah.
Primary colors.
Yeah, for some reason on Dream Collection, they made it like all puke colored. It's even worse. Maybe it hurts less, but it looks much worse at least. And that's like the only change they made to the entire game is just changing the color of this specific background in Boss Butch, as far as I know. That's the only difference between this and Dream Collection.
At least we still get to hit a banger, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So 5 HP should be good, especially now that I'm done with Dark Matter. But you can never speak too soon with Zero. Zero can do the charges like this, as many as he wants, and if he decides to go towards me, I just won't be able to move out of the way in time because he takes up literally more than half the screen. You can usually...
Yeah, his hitbox is ridiculous.
You can usually... He kind of like telegraphs where he's going to go, but sometimes he does the telegraph and then goes the other direction. So you dodge it, and then he ends up going straight to you, and you get hit.
He's so mean for that.
When I was doing Boss Butch damageless attempts, I had like, I don't know, 10 runs die on Dark Matter and Zero because they're so random. Did end up eventually beating it though. No damage taken.
Hell yeah.
And then I eventually ended up beating the whole game without taking any damage, although not 100%. Dang, I was hoping I could
Still very impressive.
finish Zero off there. Nah, I still needed a bunch of hits.
Here, though.
Wow, I needed way more than I thought. That last sliver of health
time's
is a
coming
lot.
up. It's going to be on the last hit of Zero, I believe.
Yep. And time.
Nice.
Nice
GG.
job.
Very good stuff. And now we get some cool credits.
Oh yeah, the credits are really good.
These credits are very awesome. That being said, though, we're running a little bit into the next show's time here, so do we have any shout-outs to make right at the end of this?
Shoutouts to you for having me. Shoutouts to Aston for co-commentating. And also shoutouts to KirbySpeedrun.com, which has a bunch of Kirby speedrunning info. And shoutouts to WaddleDX, who made this task. If you just look for the task for this game, Best Ending, I highly recommend watching that. The movement is crazy, and there's a lot more two-player shenanigans.
Where do people follow you as well?
There's DarkReola27 on Twitch and YouTube. Nothing special there. Thanks for having me.
That's nice. Absolutely. And I will also reiterate KirbySpeedrun.com if y'all want to learn Kirby Speedrun. Be sure to go there. That's our community wiki. There's also the Discord linked on that page as well too, if you want to just check it out. But that being said, that'll be the end of my show today. Thank you all for watching. If you've enjoyed my shows and over the last like 6 or so months of doing this, be sure to also follow me as well on Twitch if you want to. Up to you. That being said, after this is a Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door 8% run by I think Yoshizilla, if I'm looking at Discord correctly here.
Yo, nice.
So if you enjoyed the run from GDQ, they'll be doing it once again right here in just a little bit. So stick around for that. And that being said, I'll see y'all later. Have a good one.
Bye, everyone.